I'm thinking of happier times.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't come and shit. Just to say we're all counting on you.
All right. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 256. This is, oh boy, another Star Wars video, but a little different from what we've usually been doing, which is always a nice change. The Rise of Skywalker 1 year later, redefining Star Wars. And this was done in March 2020, so obviously we are talking about 2 years after the release of The Rise of Skywalker. So this is a 14-minute video. It's by a YouTuber by the name of Blue Bantha Milk Co., who has about 2,200 subs, and this video has 3,000 views. So, cool. No big deal. Should be easy.
How many subs? How many subs does he have?
2,200.
Oh, 2,200. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he's getting like what the audience he should be getting. Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a well put together video. I only watched a few minutes, so it's not it's nothing I can comment on in any context, but it's well put together. He knows what he's doing. He knows his video editing. He knows his fonts. He knows his cuts. He knows his sound quality. It reminds me very much like Just Right, which is not necessarily a good thing, but in terms of quality and production, it's good. So it's not going to hurt my eyes or my ears, which is very important.
Or unlike Bookwee, the other video we were suggested.
Well,
she was
it hurts your soul.
I just some YouTubers I just can't watch, and that unfortunately was one of them. So we couldn't watch that today, or ever. We're never going to watch that. So
forever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
in fact,
that is waiting in hell.
Great grandchildren.
Yeah,
my great grandchildren will receive like a note from me going, "Don't watch this video."
If you see the first 5 seconds of a video is painful, and then you watch the next minute and it's the same crap, you can imagine.
That goes on for a minute.
Oh, it goes on for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. I can't remember.
I only got 3 seconds, and it only was 3 seconds because I couldn't hit the pause button fast enough. I was staring at insanity, and insanity was blaring into my ears.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at the video. I couldn't stare at her. She was like, "Oh God, I don't want to look at this. It's too much."
It was the manifestation of everything that is wrong right now.
Maybe if she toned it down and didn't film herself, I think I'd be more palatable. But still, it was just annoying, obnoxious.
Maybe she just turned it down, didn't film herself. Did some editing, and probably not even make the video, to be honest.
No.
It might be more bearable.
Yeah, no. If she just smooth out those edges and don't be hysterical, stop clapping every time you talk. That would be nice. No one in their right mind who talks seriously or has something important to say claps in between words. And I'm looking at you, Lindsay Ellis. So there are certain things you should not do when you
think.
Claps in between words?
Yeah.
Why not bring back clapping?
I thought I heard there's a 1 hour 40-minute Lindsay Ellis video out about why she shouldn't have been cancelled.
I don't know.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster.
Slavery was right.
That reminds me of some twits I've been tweeting to on Twitter for the past 2 days. They're thinking automation is going to eliminate jobs. I'm like, dude, we have automation since the 1800s. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
automation's going to get rid of jobs. Yeah, okay, doing it pretty slow.
It's like the printing press.
Yes, that happens all the time. However, that always means that one industry goes down, and hopefully some other can take the now unemployed people.
Yeah,
and in the case, the relevant case, and that has been on the radar for a while, is transportation of goods. So once the autonomous driving works stable enough and secure enough, a lot of truckers will be out of a job, and that's a very big sector of the workforce, and that is a problem.
All right, here is Cyrek. Thanks for the donation, sir. I am an uninformed voter. That's okay. I just picked the titles that make me laugh. Oh. Thank you for linking the video in chat, Hawk. She was annoying. Yeah, that was unbearable. Like, I can take... if you want me to watch something, I'll watch it, I'll read it, whatever. But intellectually, there is no... Like, I can't take her seriously. And I'd be wasting my time just listening to a woman scream.
Welcome to emotional dysregulation and hyper-irrationality. It's
not going to be funny, it's going to be painful, and you're not going to get anything out of it. So I would not waste my time. Shonen manga is a very big genre, and the demographic is obvious. So, I mean, if you don't like something in a certain big genre, like a space opera or romance, it's like, okay, fine. But don't give me an argument which is painful to listen to or watch. Certain things should not be on the screen or on the... or in your ears, okay? Lindsay Ellis, as bright as her face is with all that goddamn lighting, at least it's not, blinding. She's not hideous. But I can listen to it.
Do that thing where it's like the words appear on the screen as I say them. It's like
I don't mind
when they're
that.
Quoting, like it's word for word, and like each word comes.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with it is when you see a gelatinous blob filming on a potato, screaming at you. It's just not fun.
And they're talking about, I don't like this part of kids shows. You're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're like what? You're like 37.
Without
Stop watching fucking kids show.
Without having seen anything beyond 3 seconds of that video, my bet is on jealousy. These are likable, good-looking characters, and she is not likable and not good-looking.
Oh, yeah.
It's just whinging.
Oh.
It's just, why are there not more, like, fleshed-out female characters in this thing?
That's the wrong type of fleshed out.
No, but it's like, these female characters aren't the most interesting thing in these shows aimed at boys. Wow.
Yeah.
Why could this be? This is a crime. Because
surprisingly, teenage boys don't really want to date something that looks like it belongs up a whale's nostril, to be honest with you.
But it's like
they want, quote, something nice looking at.
What's her name? To quote Brie Larson, it wasn't made for you, It's like, yeah, it's true. It's like it wasn't made for you.
Yeah, shonen, anime, and manga is not aimed at females. What a surprise!
Wow,
it literally is not made for you.
It's literally in the fucking. It's literally just boys manga. That's literally just in the name.
That's what we should have in Western comics. These comics, Marvel, those are boys comics.
These are for boys. Yes.
So maybe the SJWs
not
would be
made
like,
for you.
Yeah, the SJWs would go, well, that's just misogynistic or something like that.
Like if you are a boy and you like it, good for you. But like, it's not. That's incidental. That's like okay.
Yeah, it's like it
still wasn't made for you.
They're not made for girls, but if girls like them, that's incidental. Yeah.
And we're not talking about the entire premise of like My Little Pony is stupid. We're talking about one of the characters in My Little Pony has like pink hair, and that's like so counterintuitive to the lore of the magical world that is My Little.
No, you don't understand. What? They have cutie marks, and the cutie marks talk about their personalities. It's like,
did you just make that up, or was that an argument that person made?
Well, that's the level of nuance we're getting when she was talking about girls in shonen manga, and I'm like, dude, there's dozens of types of girls in shonen manga. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
I think she talked about Seven Deadly Sins and Naruto and My Hero Academia.
Yeah, you get that a lot though. A lot of people don't like this character from Naruto because it's so popular and she's dumb or flat. You're like, I don't care. She's not supposed to be.
I think she does like My Hero Academia, and she likes what's her name, or Araka. Is it? That's what it's called.
There's so many characters. There's so many side characters. Like, you're not going to like all of them. I get it. That's not the focus of the story. Who cares?
I don't know how you can not like Tsunade's big old titties,
She's like a granny, but she looks like she's in her 40s or something. It's like, that's cool.
Those ginormous Bodonka honkaroos,
Yeah, what woman wouldn't be jealous of that?
Just huge.
Being that old, but still looking old.
That is her whole ability is body transformation or control, which is like awesome. she can manipulate her body in her old age. Like, cool. Okay.
And what does she use it for?
Looking hot. Yeah.
Something about her.
And she's not attracted to men very much. It's kind of weird. So it's like, what are you doing with all those looks? Nothing. Like, okay.
No, I think she's just past the age where she needs that.
I guess, yeah.
But she still has the vanity.
Exactly. It's like, why do you bother? Just stop it. You're hurting everyone else. All the women are jealous. All the guys are like, what's up with this chick? Alrighty. So we've got 14 minutes to go through. We're going to be talking about Star Wars and what it is. Okay, let's get going.
Unheard of on this channel.
Oh my God. What is I don't know what Star Wars is.
Star Wars?
I have to.
Isn't that one with like Kirk and Dr. Data or something?
Yes, yeah.
That shit.
I have to.
It's basically
confess.
storage wars in space. That's basically
It's kind of like Gundam.
Star Wars. Basically, they go to these planets, and these planets are like these big storage units, and they go there and have an auction, and it's called the storage star, and they go there, and it's like, well, that's no moon.
Storage wars.
Storage star.
And
then
Amazon and eBay.
They go there and have their auction for the old.
But Storage Wars is an actual program. I'm not going crazy, am I? It was an actual program that did exist.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but Star Wars is a spin-off.
They went to old like. It'll never beat Flash Gordon.
Like he'll be like, I'll give you like 50 Imperial credits for that vintage fighter.
Your credits don't work here. Imperial credits will be fine.
All right, let's go.
And for protocol, I still haven't watched Rise of Skywalker because that is an epilepsy festival, and
you didn't miss
assholes tortured me with the trailer in the cinema without warning. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you.
All right, let's go.
Defining Star Wars is really difficult. But that's what some of the best content creators operating today have set about to do, and we're honoured to be part of an utterly amazing playlist dedicated to this very purpose.
God.
If you haven't seen anything else in the series, you'll find a link to the playlist
Christ.
in the video
This is what? Self-advertisement? What is he doing here?
This is pretty much like a group project, pretty much. Like every video here is made by a different creator.
Yeah.
This is like an airplane where it's like the controls, and he's looking across the controls,
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. It's like that.
Yeah.
Right.
The playlist is on Brown Table's channel. That's it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but if he's also going to do this, could he talk louder than the background music?
Yeah, we get a lot of those guys. Yeah, they'd like to crank the music.
I hope it's not gonna be for the entire video.
All right.
Me neither, but
I like its logo.
Yeah.
below.
Yeah, logo's fine.
If you found us because of the playlist and you like what we're doing, we'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel or hit the like button or even just leave us a comment.
Well, he's using the 97 version.
So what defines Star Wars?
All right, so immediately...
Oh, that's the just right font.
It feels like just right, yeah, I know.
This has to be the same one.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's just ask everyone. Let's go around the table here. What is Star Wars to you? We've done this lots of times. I don't know with you individual, but I've done it with Shiny for sure. So, anyway.
I've completely forgotten what Star Wars means to me.
All right.
I've not watched anything to do with Star Wars in ages.
Okay.
It used to be. It used to be just a really exciting story.
Okay.
Adventure, stakes, the hero's journey.
All right.
And redemption.
Cool.
Yeah, a good adventure story that goes through many characters and arcs. It has a lot of themes in it, but it's pretty much very very easy. on them and actually delivers on them. At least the original trilogy did that. The others not so much. Those are more like special effects, really.
When I talk about what is a story about, I talk about the theme as a definition of what the conflict is. So I always say Star Wars in that regard is about good versus evil, the Force and what it means, Force powers as a result of talking. You can't just talk about it, you have to show it. Lightsaber battles, space battles, sometimes ground battles, and that's about it. It's your typical space opera, lots of melodrama, and all the elements. I talk about this in my book a bit, actually, because I go down the tiers of what you expect in a Star Wars movie or in a movie in general, and we get to idea of a movie, genre of movie, subgenres, and then Star Wars, an instance of a movie. So Star Wars has those elements that you expect, and if you don't get them, you're going to be disappointed. So in some cases, like with Solo, you don't really expect lightsabers because it's not about lightsabers. It's about Han Solo. And I think they do actually have lightsabers, but it's not really like, I think it gets shown off in a hologram once and someone pulls out some daggers or something, but that's about it. So,
but it's also like, you have to remember, like in A New Hope, there's only like one lightsaber battle at the fight, which was really short.
Yes. Right. Yeah, but that's it. So long as it has it, you could say that is a Star Wars movie, and you can evaluate, because obviously A New Hope is like nothing exciting for that lightsaber battle, but the idea behind it and what it meant was a lot more important.
Yes.
Than what we got in frickin' Attack of the Clones.
Well, because at the end of the day, that single fight made people excited to see more of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People were like, I would like to see more of it. So,
what could Luke do with a lightsaber after a year of training? What could Darth Vader do? Because obviously he wasn't really doing much against Obi-Wan. He didn't have to.
No.
So, anyway. Thanks, Bear.
To also answer the question of what defines Star Wars, as in like, what defines the new Star Wars.
Well, no, I just mean to you. Like, it doesn't matter in what context. New Star Wars, who knows?
That's but I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say utter shit. That was what my response is gonna be. Just
right. Okay. Cool.
Anyway.
Okay, so we all have a good understanding of what Star Wars is. That's fine.
Is it dudes fighting good and evil with laser swords? Or is it giant space battles? Or is it a small family drama contrasted by lavish set pieces? Well, it's all of those things, but that's the tangible, obvious stuff. Star Wars defined is something else. To me, Star Wars is fluidity.
Okay. All right, so I see nothing wrong with defining... Star Trek is about traveling to new worlds and exploring things. That's what actually they do. It's the actions, the plots, the characters. They all have the same goal. When you're trying to get pedantic or romantic about something, and you bring up stuff like influence or categorical or whatever, you bring up a big fancy word, and you're like, dude, that's not... You can't encapsulate an entire franchise with...
Hang on, fluidity, right?
Fluidity. What the?
Is he looking for a lowest common denominator or something?
No, I just realised something. Fluidity. Okay, tell me how fluid the new trilogy is.
Well, yeah, you see, it has
follows in that.
It has this fluid milk that comes out of the titty.
It isn't the plot. It isn't the characters. It isn't any character development. It isn't world building.
Well, it is fluid in terms of the plot because it decides when things happened or when they didn't happen. So it'll be fluid. He wasn't really dead. So it's like fluid in terms of like, he wasn't really dead. We can be fluid with that. We can be flexible about whether this character was actually dead or whether this actually makes sense or not. We can be fluid with.
So the only thing that comes to my brain when he talks about fluidity, at least from a storytelling or creative writing approach, is pacing. And if the topic is the rise of Skywalker, the pacing is not even measurable. It just happens. It is so quick. I'm like, what is happening? and you don't
Things
have
happen. The movie.
From the parts I've seen, it's a child telling you, a 6-year-old telling you a story, going and then for 3 hours.
Yeah. So what is it? So at the start, it's like the green alien guy is like, okay, here's the thing, here's the message, and he's like, oh, what do you want? And he's like, oh, just win the war, and then blah blah blah, and then they have to Rey's like fucking floating, and then she's reading some fucking paper, and then
I also love this win the war, which they lost in Last Jedi because there's like 12 people left.
Yeah, and it's what is it? So that Rey's just reading about these fucking pyramids for some reason, and then you see Kylo. He gets one of the fucking pyramids for some reason, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, somehow Palpatine returned." And then he just
from Fortnite.
And then they're like, "Oh, we have to get the fucking pyramid things." The fucking vintage Rubik's cubes. We gotta get that, and then fucking.
Why are you drawing out my joke?
Because it's funny. This is great.
Well, compare that to The Last Jedi.
It hurts.
Just compare that to the pacing of The Last Jedi, where it's a slow motion car chase in space for the B plot, and the A plot is.
It didn't even feel like that.
It was all C plots. Like there was no A or B plot.
I don't know. It was just like stuff happens very slowly. You're like, okay.
And then they force guys
very slowly and very pointless. Everything in TLJ was pointless.
They force out. He gets the fucking necklace, and it's like, oh, okay, you can just do that now. Then they fall in quicksand. Also, they fly now.
And it didn't feel like there was any pressure on time with the Rose and Finn plot, because they kept doing random shit that had nothing to do with anything. Like they had all the time in the world.
Plot there, and
then
Rose and Finn's.
Rose just gets fucking needed. Rose just gets fucking needed. She's like, I guess
their Z plot means that their supposed A plot shouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
Because if you can escape to Casino Planet while you're being chased by the First Order, why couldn't everyone else just get out?
Well, maybe he means the cuts, the pacing of scenes, the action. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Then Rey killed
and then that guy made a murder mystery movie.
I have two takes on that. Number one is every Star Wars movie has fluid in it somewhere. Take two.
There is water. There is water in
this
place. Yeah.
This is typical Michel Foucault writing, where he makes seemingly coherent sentences and the setup, and then uses random words to confuse you and make you think he's saying something witty.
Or third option, he liked the way Fluidity looked on the screen and went, "Fuck it, I'm going with it."
It looks very fluid in italics.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about the font. I think that's the name of the font.
Yeah,
that's the name.
Might as well be.
Ooh.
You know, like seriously, like I thought, like fluidity means like the story can shape into anything, because like it's not like structured, like it's only about Skywalker stories. But that has been proven so fucking wrong.
Yeah, it's fluidity because when he thinks about Star Wars, he fucking comes.
Yeah.
Or does it take a piss on the franchise?
Oh
no, that's just Kathleen. No.
All right. Well,
this is getting.
No, but when I think of it, I think of a plot that flows naturally, like a stream or a river.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
but then that would imply, like, what do you call it? Cause and effect. You know, like it all flows.
Yeah. Well, I see the new trilogy is more like a recreation of Princess Diana's Last Night. That's what I see the sequel trilogy as.
Okay.
But like worse.
Okay. So instead of one person dying, everyone dies.
literally everyone dies, and then like the flame wreckage hits a cat or something as well. So it's even worse.
Yeah, and then at the end, Rey turns to the screen, turns to the camera, and just goes, "Well, that's life." And then like the circle comes in, and then the sitcom theme tune just starts playing.
No, she just goes. She just goes.
Well,
I'm Rey, Princess of Wales, or something.
Everybody, hey.
All right, well, let's see what he has to say about fluidity. Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
Its very nature, meaning,
really did it.
structure, anything in Star Wars is completely open to change. I mean, hell, its name changed.
What?
Wait a second. Wait a second. To say that a franchise as long-lived and diverse and complex and big as Star Wars, like the lore, can change is not a good sign of a good story. That's a bad sign. If you have stuff, I don't care what your stuff is, if it's planes and trains and magical powers, and it starts changing on you, things aren't going to make sense. Characters aren't going to make sense. Plots are, etc. Go down the list of things. If anything can change in your story, everything's magical, everything's wondrous, and who knows what's going to happen. It's like, this is not worth paying attention to. This is garbage. It is a magical turn wheel of garbage, and you don't know what you're going to get every time you open it up. Those aren't stories. Those are... You could call them episodic. Like we talk about Cowboy Bebop being episodic or Star Trek being episodic. You don't know what you're going to get every episode. Yeah. But the same characters are there. The same spaceship is there. The same protocols are there. All the technology, like everything makes sense. So, no.
Yeah. Also, it's like... There was this one, the quote on screen, I don't know whether it's actually on that. Start with 1. That's the way to do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the way they're supposed to be done. Just because it took a long time to film it doesn't mean you don't do it in order.
That's fine.
It's like, okay, that's fine, but Star Wars when it came out was just known as Star Wars.
Well, he had the idea from...
they added everything.
Right, he had the idea from the... Was it Buck Rogers? I can't remember where he took the original inspiration. And in
Gordon?
Flash Gordon. Yeah, it was Flash Gordon. And in Flash Gordon, they had a similar technique where it was not just in media res, but it was like as if the story was already written and you already have an established hero or an established captain or an established something else. And that's what he was doing. He was putting you in media res further into the future of the story where he thought... And the only reason you do that is because you want to put the audience in that world because it's better for something, whatever, more interesting, more exciting. There's more stuff. Like there's lots of stories in RPGs in Japan where there's an ancient civilization and they made all this cool stuff and then they went away mysteriously. And then you're going through the world and you see all these relics of this ancient civilization. So yeah, you could have told the story of how the ancient civilization came to be, or you could tell the story of you just as a plucky kid escaping his burning village and garnering power and friends and discovering all these ancient relics and restoring what was lost. So there's reasons to do this.
The original trilogy made people interested in the story that came before it, to the point where they wanted prequels. Unfortunately, the prequels we got weren't that great. So, but the idea of seeing how Vader fell, because he sprinkles enough stuff in there, get people interested in actually thinking about what could happen. So yeah, but I feel that the next argument out of this guy's bloody mouth is going to be involving like canon, and you can make whatever you want up. And
You're going to talk about like myths and shit.
That would be nice, but quoting the director-writer is like, that's fine, intentions are great and all, but that's not what actually is in the story aside from him describing the process, which is like, so?
Well, yeah, but he also described Jar Jar as the key to all of this.
Oh, God.
So whatever George Lucas says,
where's the lie?
Let's...
Jar Jar is the key to all that.
Yeah, and he also said poetry. It rhymes like poetry. So, he says a lot of things.
You should have gone with the Darth Jar Jar line.
I like the robot chicken sketch they did with that. I think it was pretty funny. With Darth Jar Jar.
All right. Here's Joe Crazy. Hey, Joe, how's it going? I know Star Wars merch changed from flying off the shelves to just rotting on the shelves. See, Star Wars is all about fluidity.
Wow.
But that isn't fluid, that's for sure.
Really gets the noggin jogging,
Oh, boy. All right, let's see him read the George Lucas quote, I guess.
order you're meant to watch the movies in changed. The scenes and the music and effects have all been changed. The entire...
Because there's a remaster?
Yeah.
What?
Fuck? Yeah, and they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. Also, that Jabba scene was filmed originally with a person.
Yes.
So it was deleted footage that he added back in.
It doesn't even make sense in continuity-wise because Greedo is standing right there. And the scene happens right after Han shoots Greedo.
Yeah. They've
wow, you think every
they said it was
Greedo? Wow. We just see him and just assume it's Greedo. Wow, you fucking racist.
Just because he's got the same alien
just because he's green,
the exact same clothing.
It's
just
same as
the exact same outfit.
Same gun as well.
Same gun and same voice actor doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Might be the twin.
This is like the same argument you can make for Blade Runner. Like, oh, they come out with this 7th version. It's fluid. It's like, well, that's just trying to milk the franchise for whatever it's worth for whatever reason.
Are you trying to summon Glib?
Am I trying to? No, I'm just saying that the argument's the same, which is silly.
He has no power here.
Star Wars, the extended edition in 1997, which, bear in mind, George Lucas changed again in 2004 because he didn't like it.
Yes, he did.
To milk more money, and then made the special effects even worse.
Oh,
you look at that. You actually look at that Jabba scene.
George Lucas has deleted Hawk.
Don't say bad things about George.
He's been edited out.
This is what censorship really looks like.
No. It's
Hawk, are you okay?
The specialized edition.
This
is the specialized edition. So
Discord did not want me to finish that sentence.
No, George Lucas didn't want you to finish it.
George Lucas edited you out of this specialized edition of the Smudcast.
George Lucas came behind me and tried to garrot me with some cheese wire. I'm just like, no, get back.
The worst change was probably like in the first special edition in like Empire Strikes Back when Luke falls down. It's the Emperor's scream put as like Luke is like falling down.
Yeah, George Lucas was gonna replace you in this podcast with bad CGI, but he wasn't able to.
No, he couldn't afford. Well, I'm not dead yet, so they can't just CGI me in.
Well, that's
you didn't sign the contract, right?
But yeah, you take a look at the 97 edition of 2004. You can't get the 97 edition anymore. They've
and it's
completely
more desirable now,
Yeah, but the 97 edition is a lot better than the 04. And it's just like, cool. Well done, George. Your vision is disgusting.
It's like what happened when they stopped producing those Nikes that Heaven's Gate cult wore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they stopped making them, and then they became really desirable.
Also, remember, this is the same guy who actually, thought the holiday special would be good.
No, he never thought that. Like it was like something that the studio forced down on him.
You just don't understand the deep
I'm
lore.
Sure they did. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they forced him to do it. Yeah.
With money, they were like,
"Oh
no, I've forced." Oh, really? They held you at gunpoint? No. I mean, they just said they give me a load of money. It was like, fair enough. I understand.
What? They let them in for the project? No, they gave me like $5 for the project. They gave me like 50 million just for me.
All right, let's see what else his definition involves. This is getting weird.
Change.
A story, a simple coming-of-age tale to a full-blown Greek tragedy. Sure, all stories change, but mostly character arcs are the things that we are attuned to as audience members. The big plot shifts come from the characters learning information in front of us and traversing their story. They appear, something happens, they enter.
Right. So that's how the sequel trilogy redefined it, by having no character arc.
Sorry, you can't say character arc. Can't say character arc because you've got that big ray shape in the fucking room.
They appear, something happens.
I don't know what he's. I honestly don't know what he's saying.
Great, love this.
to recall, they falter, they rise to the occasion, they triumph, and we've been there on that journey with them.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are you
Why
are you putting that scene there?
And what defines it in a way that you don't really see all that often in other franchises
What?
is that it's not just the characters that change. It's the thematic pillars of the whole universe.
What the hell? What?
This is Gadel. I agree with the chat. I agree with the chat that this is EFAP bait.
This is the most pretentious.
When was this made?
Is this parody? Is this legitimately parody?
When was this
I mean, he's on the fucking playlist though, right? Like
2020 April 1st. No, it's March 4th, but
I mean, he's on the playlist though, right?
The thematic
he's on that
pillars.
So how can it be ironic if he's
universe.
on the playlist?
Please, seriously, when was this made?
2020 March 4th.
Okay, I say this is EFAP bait. This can't be serious. This can't be serious.
So.
It's so close. It's so close because
This is like serious Gadel. Serious.
I was about to pull out the bingo card. I was like, this is getting really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, why is it 1 year later? Like,
potential.
Rise of Skywalker came out at the end of 2019.
Right.
March of 4th of March is like 3 months afterwards. That wasn't a year ago.
Hang on.
Already the title is bad. Like
you could say not mathematically 12 months, but it's still the next year over.
Time is subjective,
it's still the next calendar year. So
is this legitimately like? Is this real? Like,
not intended for children under 13
This is like a
years of
Foucault
age.
who
audiobook.
could say like the thematic pillars of the universe? Oh, who could? That must be. This gotta be a joke. You can't be serious.
This has got to be it.
All right, let's try again. Let's keep going.
I think it's serious.
That have their arcs. They make
Oh, slow down. Whoa, let's go back.
The thematic pillars of the
is that
universe
it's not
have
just
their
the
own arc.
characters that change. It's the thematic pillars of the whole universe that have their own arcs.
What the hell is he talking about?
He's not part of this universe anymore. He's on a different plane.
Oh,
So now he has to define what a thematic pillar is. Then he has to define the thematic pillars of this universe. And then he has to describe how they have arcs.
He will not. He will not.
This is crazy.
Oh my god! He's getting so much.
Chat, chat. If you've never read Michel Foucault, this is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
pretentious pseudo-intellectual garbage.
Mark, you think he's serious?
He has to be.
I am not sure because he's interjecting with the blue milk scene.
Why did you say he has to be in a voice that makes me think you're not even sure?
He's interjecting all this with this disgusting blue milk scene that destroys everything.
This guy is
It's not. This can't be serious. I don't believe it.
He's in deep cover.
Right. So he's going to mention this thematic pillars of the universe has character arcs, right? If he doesn't explain 20% of what he's actually just said in the next 3 minutes, then I think he might be joking. But then again, he's on the playlist.
That's not that criteria doesn't work because the SJWs never explain their They never give examples of how this stuff they allege works. They just assume that you understand it.
But if he starts going more Gadelby, he'll be able to tell because he'll just start adding more random things, and it's like at least for most of the nut jobs we have, they have.
a point.
At least they're trying to get something.
Like they've got a point that they're trying to get, even if it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like it's a dumb point.
Yeah.
But they get to it. Like they get to their dumb point.
Yeah.
But this is like, it's not even
getting
that far.
If he says this and then starts going to like the arcs of, you know, something else, it's like, I don't know. I'll hear him out, but
Okay, let's go.
Even the arcs have arcs.
Here's Cyrex donation.
The
Thank you.
thematic pillars of art.
The themes are the pillars of the universe. If that universe was the Library of Alexandria.
Too soon. Too soon.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, let's pull out our papyrus and find out what the hell he's talking about. Here's Joe Crazy. Thanks again, Joe. This man just isn't a galaxy brain. It goes beyond dimensions. I don't know. I really don't. I want to find out what the hell he's talking about.
He's like Dark Side.
Yeah.
Like he's one of him.
He's like Darkseid. He just forgets stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their meanings evolve, recontextualize, and reframe as time goes on, and Star Wars as a franchise kind of requires participation from the audience. We're asked to process this updated information as new pieces of media are released, and the new media, in turn, forces us to go back and rethink what we understood about the past.
No, I can just ignore that.
Wait. So when we watch the prequels, we have to go back and watch episode 4 to 6 to recontextualize it? No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No.
I think they are pretty solid there.
I'll just discard the sequels. That's much easier and makes more sense.
The sequels ruin the original because we have to say, this is Darth Vader, this schmuck, this loser, this idiot. Really? He was badass in 4 to 6. Now he's a whiny little brat who wanted to save his wife but didn't know how to do it and just gave in to some idiot who said he would save her. And he went, whoops, well, I guess we can't save her anymore.
I guess I'm evil now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I guess I'm evil.
About the prequels, because it's like in the original trilogy, you get the sense that Darth Vader actually has an ideology. Like he's not just in this for some like external goal. Like he actually believes in the general principle of like the idea of the Empire. He just wants to be in charge of it. That's his only like. It's just that he wants to be at the head of it. It's not that he's like really he would be against it, but no, like he's actually in favor of it, and he actually like has an ideology. But when you reduce it to, well, no, he's just doing it because of some emotional decision, it sort of reduces. It almost takes away from the redemption arc because it's not like he had a belief system that was challenged.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas making it, it was just about this one emotional connection that he had. Sort of takes away from
the problem with,
him having a belief system.
Yeah, this is the problem with Revenge of the Sith. It fits all of Anakin's fall in the last 30 minutes. When
a little bit, yeah. I guess the first part is in Attack of the Clones where he kills the Sand People.
Yeah, but his actual fall to the dark, actual fall to the dark side is literally the last 30 minutes of the film. As in, like, it's slowly building up. It's like, no, because when he finally does give in, it's like, what?
Yeah,
really?
It's 0 to 100. It's like, okay, I'm going to join the dark side. I'm going to just murder all these children that I probably know. Yeah. I probably know these children.
Yeah,
like by name, that I'm slaughtering here, but yeah.
This is
I think if you had it from the start that he wasn't like I think if you had it from the start where you could see that he had maybe some like arrogance of like him knowing how things should be and him disagreeing with Jedi stuff from more like disagreeing with their doctrines and disagreeing.
Really, his fall to the dark side should have started properly in halfway through Attack of the Clones.
I think there should have been more of an ideological difference. Like there should have been more of I would imagine it more of like him thinking, why don't we just slaughter the enemy here? Why are we taking prisoners? Why are we being so nice to these people that we're fighting in this war? Why aren't we just absolutely slaughtering them? That could be a difference, right? Because then you can have the conflict with Obi-Wan.
I know right now there are people probably going, but in the Clone Wars, it's like...
In the Clone Wars, shiny.
Yeah, I can just imagine. I can just...
No, you don't understand. In the Clone Wars and in the books, you know.
It's like, I know. It's like, I know. I watch those things, and it still doesn't make any sense because all that character build-up stops in Revenge of the Sith because Revenge of the Sith is still canon.
Like what I would have wanted to see in the prequels was more of an ideological difference, more of like you can still have the Clone Wars, but have it be like he's actually clearly like no, the Jedi way is too passive and it's too like weak.
Make the Clone Wars a never-ending war.
Like I want Anakin to be committing war crimes. Like I want him to be committing war crimes and then going from doing it and sort of going, well, it's a necessary evil to no, it's not even evil. Like it's literally just it's just the right thing to do. You know, that's the kind of progression I want to see where he's like, no, I'm not sorry about slaughtering these people.
Yeah, that's the way you make it. Yeah, that's why you make it a never-ending war. So it makes it sense that he wants to end this never-ending war.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Not because at the end of the day, the Clone Wars is a bit like, it's over and done with quite quickly. When you actually think about the largest scheme of things, it's just done. It's 3 years and it's finished and over and done with, and it's like, oh, but I'm bad guy now.
Okay.
Time doesn't make a lot of sense in the Star Wars series. I'll just say that.
And I wish the Clone Wars had added more to that. There is a slight change in his character over time, but it's not really that much, and most of it is him just being annoyed.
Yeah, but the problem with the Clone Wars is whatever character development Anakin has is stunted by Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Oh, Rise of Skywalker destroyed everything.
He really So this.
The Clone Wars in the end goes in parallel with Revenge of the Sith.
So someone is saying in the comments that he did all this stuff in the movies. Not really. Like it was there was a couple of like moments, but it wasn't like you never got the point that there was this like large ideological difference. It's so like 0 to 100, and he doesn't actually disagree.
It is 0 to 100.
It's not like he
walks into Palpatine's office in Episode 3, wanting to arrest Palpatine. Within 5 seconds, he's chopped Mace Windu's hand off, given himself over to the dark side, and is on his way to murder children.
And at the end of the day,
that is 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, it's like at the turn to the dark side is purely because he wants to save the ones he loves. It's not an ideological difference. His ideological difference with the Jedi is so slight, and most of it he doesn't even have that much ideological difference because it's literally just like, well, I think they should have put me on the council. Like it's really, really petty. It's not a grand. He doesn't come across as someone with a grand like vision of how he would rule the galaxy. Like he just comes across as this like, well, I want to space in the council, that kind of stuff. Like it's really, really petty, and it doesn't come across as like a man with a vision. Whereas in the original trilogy, he's like, okay, he comes across.
He seems so imposing, so wise, so level-headed. You know, he seemed like someone who had his stuff together before he was put in the suit. You really can't imagine the whiny
same person.
Yeah. I understand that. Anakin Skywalker died when he became bullshit. He's still the same. It's still the same human under there, and it's just one of those things. You just bit like, yeah.
All right.
Star Wars has a lot of problems after the original trilogy.
Star Wars is mythology. Like real life, all things in Star Wars can be kind of fluid, even the things that ground us and set the rules for how the story universe works.
What? Wait, that was it?
Told ya.
It's fluid like life.
Nothing.
Next
People
topic.
never explain the thematic arcs of whatever.
Jesus.
The thematic
Just
pillars
makes assertions and
of the
expects
universe.
you to understand what he means magically.
Also, real life isn't that fluid.
Real life can be rock solid sometimes, and it's quite annoying.
Tomorrow, yeah, but here's the thing. Tomorrow, when I walk into town to go to the pub, I won't get halfway and then begin to fly to my destination. There's still
How do you know?
rules within... Because I've tried before. Anyway.
Maybe you turn into a fluid and take the route through the sewers.
Chad's still not understanding my position.
But at the end of the day, I believe
they're still saying
he's the deadliest son of a bitch.
He was vain and angry and emotional the entire time. I don't want him to be vain and just emotional, because Darth Vader in the original trilogy isn't just vain and emotional. Like, he's not just, well, I'm just big, angry, scary, evil man. He was calm and collected, you know, and he wasn't just I'm just angry, emotional, like fucking... You know, I don't know how else to fucking say it. Like, that's not... That doesn't get you...
That first scene of him walking onto Leia shit, was it the Tantive 4?
Tantive 4.
Or something? Yeah, Tantive 4. When he just walks in, he doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, just walks in. That's imposing. Everyone remembers that scene. You know, he doesn't have to say a damn word, right? You look at that, and then you look at what we got in the prequels. There is no way your mind goes, same person. That's definitely the same person. And you're like, fucking hell, that whiny little bitch. Where's Vader to, like, break his neck or something? So, yeah. I see, I know exactly where Dolphus is coming from. Yeah.
Like, there's this huge disconnect from the end of Revenge of the Sith to the start of Empire Strikes Back in terms of Darth Vader. Like, he's not... He hasn't reached Darth Vader by the end of Revenge of the Sith. He's reached Anakin Skywalker Darth Vader costume. You know what I mean? Like, he just... It doesn't connect. It doesn't feel like the same character at all.
But they set up that last scene where he stood next to the Emperor, looking at the Death Stars, and like, this is now Darth Vader. When you know quite clearly, it's like, no.
It's like such a rushed bridge to gap between those trilogies. Yeah. It's like... I wish like the conclusion of Revenge of the Sith would have like taken at the half point, and then we see like the rest. Like it could have been like have something else like that.
Yeah, they made the first mistake having Anakin be a child in Phantom Menace, and I'll always say
the first mistake was making the prequels.
Yeah.
No, prequels could have worked. It was the mistake was making Anakin a child in the Phantom Menace, because it stifled where you could go, because then you've only got 2 movies now instead of 3 movies to tell his story. Because in the Phantom Menace, he was too young to do pretty much anything. I know he blows up the droid shit, but
If you only watch that movie, like if you only watch the Phantom Menace out of context, then Anakin in that movie is a Mary Sue. Like in that movie on its own, like, just on its face.
Yes.
If you didn't know about the other 2 movies, he's a Mary Sue in that movie, or a Gary Sue, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And it even though he falls later, it still feels cheap and annoying.
Yeah.
To watch, you know, even though you know what happens later, it's still
had he been an adult with Jedi training, you know, I know how much I love Qui-Gon, but you remove Qui-Gon, it's Obi-Wan and Anakin in the first movie. You know, they've got that relationship already. You know, he's a Padawan, Obi-Wan's training him, like what they were in Attack of the Clones. Move Attack of the Clones to Phantom Menace. Start up the big Clone Wars thing. Start up the, you know, the rift between the 2 of them. You know, and then halfway through what will be his second movie is when he starts going through his full, you know, he's the hero in the first movie. In the second movie, he's the anti-hero. And in the third movie, he's the, you know, he becomes the villain. He grows into the villain. Have the whole movie with him, like, in, you know, the Revenge of the Sith as him, like, at the end of, say, Attack of the Clones, he's like he knows that Palpatine's the Emperor, and he's now like starting to agree with him more, like, you know, ideology, like Dollface says. And then Revenge of the Sith, you can have him like doing all the bad things that Obi-Wan, you know, was accusing them of. With, you know what I mean, in the New Hope, and then that leads into the Empire and the Rebellion. You know what I mean? Better than one sentence going, "And the First Galactic Empire," and then "I hate you," and then it's like, "Oh, put his arm on, be fine." Look, Death Star. That was in the other movies, right? It'd be a lot better. It would be more fluid.
I just think that like the kind of things Anakin disagrees with the Council on are so surface level, and like such minor like surface
his only disagreement is because he's not a Jedi Knight, as in like no, he's not the rank of Master. That's it.
Yeah.
And then that's literally it, because he pretty much agrees with everything. Like, he agrees with Mace Windu about arresting Palpatine when he informs him.
Well, there's the one scene where him and Obi-Wan are arguing about spying on the Chancellor, and they said this is not the Jedi way. That was like the most meaningful scene out of the whole 3 movies. And if they just focused on those kinds of scenes where he's arguing that Jedi should not be doing this, I thought Jedi were better than this, and even then, you know, the Council saying, we want you to do this, but in secret, yada, yada, and all these underhanded things. Oh, the Jedi aren't like this, but yet I'm doing these things for them. That would be a slow progression to disliking the Jedi, as opposed to, I need him, I got to chop off Mr. Windu's arm there, so Mr. Lightning Devil Man over there starts screaming for unlimited power and launches him off a building. Yeah. You're thinking, this guy is dangerous. No, I'm going to bend over and, you know, kiss his backside because...
Oh, what have I done? Yes, my master. That's literally the 2 lines out of Anakin's mouth in that scene.
So there's a lot to be desired. They did not connect the dots very well. They did not build it up very well. And George should have been on this from day 2.
It's
after Star Wars became popular. Oh, I can do episode 1, 2, and 3 again. Whoa, this is going to be great. And he never bothered to figure that out. So
it's one of those things where it's like they got to the end of Attack of the Clones. They went, oh my god, Anakin's got to turn to Darth Vader in the next movie. We've done nothing. Oh Jesus. Oh god. Yeah. I was already halfway through filming.
If this is directed to me in chat, I was always talking about the consistency between the OT and the prequels, not within the prequels. That's what I've been talking about this whole time. Is
the
consistency of Darth Vader.
The prequels have the problem that many other stories have, which are time skips, and I don't know why they went that route. Sure, you have to have some distance of time between A and B, but we're talking like I don't know, from what is he, 7 to like 19?
He's 9 in Phantom Menace, then 9. He's 19 in Attack of the Clones, and then he's 22 in Revenge of the Sith.
It's way too much.
That seems silly to me. Like 22. Wait, so he's 22. So then, what age is he in? I guess how much time's back? Because I suppose it's like as long as it takes for Luke to grow up.
It's 19. It's 19. It's 19 years between Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
These time skips are irrelevant if the point of the film is to show Vader's progression. If you want to show progression, you don't have time skips. You have progression. You have A to B to C to D and all the other steps that make him more evil and more evil. Not, hey, I'm a kid, I'm cute, I got the Force, but I'm dumb. Okay, part 2, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm kind of evil, but not really. And then C, I'm going to kill a Jedi because he's fighting.
Like, I kind of think it's overambitious to try to go from this like really, really ridiculously innocent, like cute character of Anakin to what we. I think that's too ambitious of a change. I think that's overstepping like what you can reasonably show, and I just don't think it doesn't feel real. Like if you look at like psychopaths and dictators or whatever, they show it from an early age, and when you're watching a story, even though it's fiction and even though it's fantasy and whatever, it still kind of rings false to have a character that's so goody two shoes becomes so bad.
We needed something dramatic and tragic for Vader to become Vader, and we never got that. We got the weird, she died in childbirth, I'm so angry, now I'm Darth Vader now, and you're like, what? That's it? as sad as that is, losing
Yeah.
your wife and whatever to the kids, I guess. It's just a scene. There's no build up to that, and it's so silly.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's like, if you pretend it's not 2005, Revenge of the Sith hasn't come out. In your mind, the moment when Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader, did you expect him to go no like that? Just it's like, be honest. If you thought that, if you tell yourself, yeah, that's exactly how I
the entire writing of the prequels are is childish stuff. This is stuff that maybe a high schooler, maybe even less than I'd say a grade schooler. The writing concepts and not necessarily the beats, but now we're going to have a 40-minute or was it 25-minute fight scene with swords, and they're jumping around on platforms in lava. You're like, okay, that's weird. And you're going to have your robot buddies jump around on a platform on a conveyor belt. That's like a video game. And you're like, okay. So there's all these elements that don't really feel like they should belong there. But George is like, oh, we got to do it for the kids. The kids have to have fun. It's like, yeah, you could have action scenes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And like the one with Yoda was unexpected. I was like, oh, wow, they're really going for Yoda. And everyone loved it. So you can get away with lots of things without wasting everyone's time and having all these other sub-stories or plots that are just there for fun. So if the focus is Vader becomes Vader or Anakin becomes Vader, all the other crap on the side is nice to have, but it has to connect with that. And if it doesn't connect, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Stop wasting my time. So anyway.
Anakin did feel like a secondary character in the brief.
There was too many things. There was honestly way too many things happening.
Yeah.
And they should not have ever done that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was, yeah.
George was just like, I have all this technology and all these people and all this money now. I could do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to write while I create. And you're like, dude, you're doing it backwards.
Yeah. Well, he did ask like other of his friends to like direct or help him out, but like all of them refused because like they said like this is like too overwhelming to do, and they even like told him not to do. But like he did it anyway.
Yeah. If Spielberg was directed or Spielberg wrote and then someone else directed, I think that would be.
Yeah, it was like Francis Ford Coppola was the other one. That like, oh god, I can't even think about like what kind of Star Wars movie he would have directed.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crap in there. It's not worthy of. If you just tweak that, it's like no, the whole thing is crap.
Oh.
Anyway, the Force.
The biggest overarching structure in Star Wars.
Wait. Let's just rewind that.
For how the story universe works. The Force is probably the biggest overarching structure in Star Wars. It underpins almost every action that takes place on screen, but we didn't always see it the way we do now. Our original interpretation of it was rudimentary at best. The Force is an overarching structure that's constantly... What?
I think like this interpretation is like very like KOTOR 2-esque, that like the Force is like controlling fucking everything in Star Wars. I don't think so in the movies, at least not.
No, in KOTOR 2, Krei is like explaining the forces within all of us, and she hates it because of that, and
it's like pretty much like destiny almost.
It's a thing she wants to manipulate. In the movies, it's just a telekinetic ability.
Yeah, it's just an ability. Like
yeah.
That some people have, and like okay, it's not some weird dynamic, constantly changing thing. I mean.
It didn't have much of an explanation.
I feel like people take the Force as like being like a godlike entity that's controlling the galaxy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, why do you believe that? And it's like, and it just turns into a headcanon thing where it's like, did you actually watch the original trilogy of stuff? And they're like, yeah, I loved the Death Star battle. Like, right, cool. And you're like, you don't understand anything about this film series at all. It's like, oh no, not really. The Force controls everything because it's a get out of jail card thing now. So the Force did it, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, sure, whatever.
But was, in cinematic terms, a power, something someone could tap into and win the day.
You don't need to see his identification. We don't need to see his identification.
Oh, did you like the little droid in the background?
Yeah, it's just like it was so out of place.
That was cool, wasn't it? Good job that George Lucas put that in 2004.
So out of place with those 77 camera footage. No.
Yeah.
Love those DVD extras. It's thank you. That's great.
Cool, yeah.
Later, that power is elaborated into something more mystical.
And the powerful all it is.
More connected to life itself.
Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
Oh no.
And we're taught that it's not a superpower.
He did the thing.
He did the thing. Is he gonna put the penis in one of the frames? It's gonna be the last frame.
Did he just replace Tyler Durden with fucking Star Color?
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Oh god.
Is the dark side stronger?
No. But easier, more seductive.
The definition of the light and dark sides of the Force became, yes, a bit clearer, but it's still almost like a character that we never really see.
I've been wondering.
It's not a character, dude. What is happening?
Not a character. That's like saying oxygen changes because I can't see it, but it surrounds us. It's like
it's a character, Hawk. You need to persuade it to have air.
May the oxygen be with you, Hawk. Like what kind of crazy ideas?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like the Force isn't a character.
Yeah, it's like saying the Holy Spirit is upon you. It's like what? Okay, what is it doing?
Yeah,
the wheel wills as it wills.
Literally, see this is another problem with the prequels. The fact that Qui-Gon Jinn, as he's talking to a woman's razor, mentions midichlorian, literally has just broken so much, and people now think that the Force and midichlorians and all this sort of stuff are some mystical entity that's a character, and you're like, great. Also, yes, the device that Qui-Gon talked into, he's talking to Obi-Wan, is actually a woman's razor. Yeah,
it's kind of funny that now that we've been introduced to midichlorians, which are organic things and all living things, they have control over inorganic things, and they never explain the concept of how these whatever organisms in your blood can control inorganic objects.
Beyond the Phantom Menace, does it ever get really brought up again?
No. I think in Revenge of the Sith, when the opera scene is that Palpatine says like they could manipulate the Force to get the midichlorians to create life. That's the only other mention of midichlorians.
Oh.
All right, here's Joe Crazy. Smud, only grade schoolers could enjoy the prequels. Me sees Star Wars Rise of Skywalker reaction videos of people crying in the thumbnail. People are weird. If you don't think about things, if you turn your brain off for a lot of this crap, then you could enjoy it. That's true. And most kids don't have that process of thinking critically about certain stuff, like logic and cause and effect. So if you don't have that capacity, you're going to enjoy all the big explosions and lighty sticks slashing and all the sound effects. Yeah, of course you will.
I mean, they're not buying the toys though. So I mean, obviously the kids are actually liking.
Yeah, but the thing is to cry over a.
Well, the design of Darth Maul looks cool.
Oh, it looks badass.
It looks cool. It's stupid. It's a dumb character. He doesn't do anything. But fine. Yeah, he looks cool. He's the first double-bladed lightsaber we saw.
I think they should have sort of combined the characters of like Darth Maul and Count Dooku.
Yeah, like, he should have been a recurring villain. That would have been much better.
I think they should have amalgamated like the roles of both of those characters and have those sort of go through the trilogy. I think that would have been a lot better.
Yeah. I will say I did have a Darth Maul.
Honestly, just give them a plot. Just give one of those characters a plot that I can make sense of. And suppose we will have our revenge. You're like, for what? What happened? What revenge?
That's why I always
Darth Maul's 5 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, I always wanted red lightsabers as a child. I always like asked for the red ones because I just thought the bad guys were just way cooler. You know, they were just like, oh hell yeah.
They knew exactly who they marketed this thing for.
Yeah, do you know what most kids ask for when they get a Star Wars gift now? They ask for a refund.
Oh, got him. They ask for Daddy, please cancel Disney Plus.
I like that they asked like a separate actor, like a separate British actor to voice Darth Maul for those 5.
Oh yeah.
It was Ray Parker did all the stuff, but Peter,
the kitchen gun guy.
Yeah, he does he's got a really weird.
All clean again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's funny how isn't it the guy who plays like who voices Starkiller also voices Darth Maul in the.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I just love that fucking clip of him.
Whittaker, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Sam Witwer. I think.
Sam
Witwer. Yeah.
One of the few sane people in Star Wars. Yeah.
Yes, he voiced his opinion on The Last Jedi, and then like right away, like rabbit fans just like jumped on him, like, how dare you?
Yeah. He's great. All right, here's Jake the Surgeon. Midichlorians are not the Force; they act more as reserves.
So the midichlorians are the middleman of the Force.
They're like batteries.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we?
Mitochondria is the battery of the cell.
Can we all just admit that it was a really stupid addition that should never have been?
Well, this is George and his ideas, and you're like, okay, George, whatever.
He has even weirder ideas in like the Clone Wars, like the wheels of the Force.
The wheels, oh my god!
Like that was like, what the fuck?
This is like we're getting.
The best part is that like it's a 3-parter or something, and by the end of the episode, nobody remembers.
He wanted to tell a story about the microbiome of midichlorians, and there's other things controlling it. It's like you're creating a secondary Deus Ex Machina. for the sake of explaining the first day. It's like, are you mad? Why would you do that?
This is like creating another catalyst to explain the catalyst at the end of Mass Effect 3. You're just like, no, please just stop.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened at Mass Effect 3. You had the freaking Star Child to explain the Reapers, but they still don't make sense. So they have to create another alien species to explain the Reapers, which were the big watery guy. I can't remember their names. Leviathans. Yeah, I was like, why are you doing this? This is not necessary. This is so stupid.
At which point people go like, yeah, but how did the Leviathans?
Yeah, they'll just keep asking these dumb questions.
We'll just make something else at some point.
It's like the prime mover argument back from Aristotle. It's like, we don't have to know this shit. Just make sense of whatever the hell they're trying to do, and that's fine. It's so dumb. Anyway. Jake the Surgeon. Receivers. They act more as receivers of the Force. Okay. So they're like a conduit for which they're wheels...
like Force Wi-Fi.
Yeah. They're the Wi-Fi hardware.
Yeah. I thought someone was going to say they're the 5G of the Force.
And and the Force is like the remote control. Yeah. Like you just press the buttons.
But like Anakin has 5G. He got it early.
Oh, really early. Yeah. All right.
What are midichlorians?
The prequels both dispel the mysticism and enforce it. Simultaneously, it's definable by science, linked to microscopic organisms in your blood that determine how strongly you can manipulate it.
They live inside me.
But also, it's a voice, and it can be listened to. And it's not until the prequels that we really understand that the Force has its own will.
They continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force.
Be mindful of the living Force, young Padawan.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
It requires balance.
You believe it's this?
It's even got its own foretold prophecies, and they have...
Okay, so they
you can have prophecies for anything.
They never explain that.
They never go into it. It's like one of these stupid anecdotes that, oh, Bob said that Jeff's going to be special, and you're like, okay, cool. Does that ever happen?
Who said it? When?
It's so silly.
Of the Force.
This is like Mary Sue ideas that just go nowhere. You're like, why did you do that, George? I don't know. It means absolutely.
But no, but the prophecy thing, it's like any Tom, Dick, and Harry can make a prophecy of something.
Well, yeah. But if you don't connect it to the plot, then what the hell are you doing? And then we're supposed to believe that his picking up of Mr. Palpatine and throwing him down a shaft is the prophecy of the Force. That is the dumbest outcome of a prophecy I've ever heard.
Also, I just want to say, they mention the prophecy in Phantom Menace, and then the next time you hear the fucking prophecy is literally the scene of Obi-Wan going, "You are the chosen one, meant to destroy us, if not join them." Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I was like, oh my god, yeah, there's a prophecy thing. I completely forgot that in the 3 whole movies we had in between.
Yeah, that didn't help. Is anything going to be bad? Then the prophecy's false. If he's going to be good, then it makes sense. But what is he going to be good at? What's he going to do? What's his good outcome? I don't know.
Yeah,
killing a Sith Lord is not that special a prophecy.
Yeah, considering the fact that literally at the start of Revenge of the Sith, everyone goes, "Sith Lords are our speciality." It's like, well, if you can kill them quite easily, what's a prophecy about?
Everyone can do it, and then we find out in Episode 9. Yeah, I know he's back. It didn't really. That prophecy was nothing. Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, prophecy meant nothing. That's like me going. That's like me going. Someone's going to kill God, and me going, "Yeah, I do that daily." And it's like, it's not really a prophecy, is it?
If there was a machine that was so dark, like the dark energy of the Force, whatever was there, and that was the rebirth machine or the cloning machine or whatever the hell, I don't care. And that's the thing that's wrong. That's what's bad with the universe. And Vader blew that up because he knew about it. Then we have some weird destructive creation balance thing going between good and evil or light and dark. And that'd be like, that would make some sense. I don't care what the hell the prophecy is, but this is what everyone says. Well, if you got a lot of Jedi, you're gonna have to have a lot of dead Jedi to balance out all those less of, or the lack of dark Force users, which is all we can think of because it's dumb.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah,
that's stupid. Oh god, there's always good people. God, I wish there was an equal number of good and bad people.
Yeah, which makes good and evil this actual physical component of the galaxy. Even though the Force is in all of us, and it's like, what? So if I do something bad, does that mean there's bad Force power in the world? No, I don't get it.
The light rises to meet the dark. Oh. Shut the fuck up, Snake. No, we're not.
Yeah, which has made Star Wars a joke now because you have all this bullshit melodrama that means nothing. It literally means nothing. Yeah, and you can't take it seriously.
Be good. Why? Because then someone equally as bad is going to come out. So all the good you do means nothing.
Yeah. Can you imagine throwing someone who's evil down a chasm is a good action? Like, how does that make sense? Mm-hmm. What does that do?
Yeah.
Could you explain it?
So as a prophecy, imagine reading the prophecy which just says yeeted down energy tube. It's like doesn't sound much like a prophecy to me. That just sounds.
Get some details. What's imbalanced there, Qui-Gon? What's the problem there? Why are you so concerned about the balance of the Force? Like, where's the problem? Everyone's in a golden age of Jedi. What's going on?
Yeah, also, the entire council seems uninterested in the prophecy.
Yeah, they're like, that's a myth. It's like, yeah, what is it? What's the problem to begin with that we have a prophecy to do something? Usually it's like there's a prophecy of something bad going to happen.
The Sith have not been seen in many generations. Yeah, so do they think the prophecy's already been fulfilled by someone else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the stupid line that means nothing, and I think everyone forgot about it after episode 3 anyway. So
1, but everyone forgot about it after episode. Literally, that first scene of Anakin in front of the council when he's a kid said a prophecy. Next scene, everyone's like, "What did they say in that last scene?" Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Yay, Jar Jar! That's what we want to say.
Oh no!
So I mean, ideally, you would get it down to one light side user and one dark side user, and then you could put them in carbonite, and then there'd be no more Force users ever.
Yeah.
Except the Force users come out naturally anyway, so there's always being born.
Yeah, I know. It's still just like, oh my.
Makes no sense.
But they wouldn't. Oh yeah, but okay. So every light.
But Jedi's don't make Jedi because they don't have sex.
I think
some of them
like that long-haired man.
No. They've retconned it because people called it out, and they went, "Oh,
have sex because he's long-haired man."
No,
long man.
They weren't allowed. It's always been that way. Then people went, "Yeah, but how did they make Jedi?" It's like, we'll retcon it. It's like, yeah, well done, Star Wars. Once again, they put a tweet out about it, so it means it's canon now.
Oh,
the J.K. Rowling method.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you know? Yeah.
Did you know that Dumbledore's gay because I wrote it in a tweet somewhere?
Yeah, George Lucas should start doing that.
Oh,
he should just start tweeting and just going, "Did you know that when Jedi shit, they fucking use the Force to yeet it?"
Thanks, George.
Did you never raise a piece of shit? It's just that's the tweet.
All right, here's Cyrek again. Thank you, sir. Star Wars, like poetry, rhymes, in the good and the bad times. The sequels will live in infamy, just like Rey will never have a family. Oh, poor Rey.
Oh, that's... I laugh at her misfortune.
All right, let's keep going. Joe Crazy. I like Revenge of the Sith and all for nostalgic reasons, but even as a kid, I didn't cry during it. Yeah, no, it's not crying worthy. There's lots of media that is not crying worthy, especially the endings to certain video games. So,
there's no reason to ever cry at a trailer.
That's another thing. Oh my
God.
Yes.
Ever cry at a trailer that literally just involves Rey staring in a desert with her mouth open to the point you can see what her tonsils look like. And then jumping over a thing you like.
Unless your channel is dedicated to that one thing and the devs are in the chat and you're there to put on a show, then it's okay.
Yeah, but... Okay, let me rephrase it. As long as you're not a fucking dirty shill, right, there's no reason not to... Fine, Smud, I'll...
And you're being recorded so the devs can see you cry. It's like that's.
And you're being recorded. You're being watched, and your family's at gunpoint. Yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, you may cry at a trailer.
Oh boy, here's Jake the Surgeon. Disney really messed up how balance worked in Star Wars. I would say George did, but yeah, Disney as well. There's many things to argue. The power of the bowcaster, the power of lightsabers.
Like, did the phrase "balance in the Force" was that in the original trilogy? Or did that phrase only come up in the prequels?
Was not in the original. Well, balance. I think when Obi-Wan was describing it, maybe he may have talked about balance, but other than that, no.
Also, by the way, the balance doesn't exist because at the end of Rise of Skywalker, Rey's the only person left with Force powers, and she's a goody two-shoes. So, how's that balance?
Oh, do you know what actually would have been an interesting twist if after she gets, so the way she gets brought back, right? Kylo's he's able to bring her back for some reason. But after he brings her back, but she has no force powers. That would be interesting. That'd be kind of
well, but also remember, if you force heal a dark side user, it makes them a light side user as well. Did you know? They've now said that's canon. And I'm just like, wow, okay, cool. So, how's that for balance?
Yeah.
Stuff? If you could just force heal them to be good.
What if actually, what's his name, Grogu is actually a dark side user, and
I still have the theory that Grogu is Snoke.
Wow.
I still have the theory that Grogu got his head cut off by Kylo Ren. And
Kylo was like, "Hey Grogu, you're cool. Don't come to the school next."
No. It's like like the scene in Joker with the midget.
Yeah.
He kills the other guy.
You were always nice to me. And Grogu's trying to get out the locked door. Kylo, I can't reach the latch. Oh, okay.
That was wonderful.
He's there with white paint on his face, Kylo Ren.
Oh God.
I
want to see that.
I need that.
I know what I'm downloading today.
You were supposed to bring balance to the asylum, not join it.
All right, here's Jake the Surgeon. I'd always assumed midichlorians were the explanation as to how Force users could be born. Well, the problem with that is Episode 1 explained that Anakin is Force Jesus, so it's just becoming...
Not to be confused with Space Jesus, who was Commander Shepard.
Yes.
What Jesus is about. It's a bit crowded up there.
Yeah, you don't want these kinds of stories to occur. They're too dumb.
I like the idea that Jesus has to go around to all the different planets and do the same thing. He's like Earth is just one of them, and then he has to, after Earth he's like, oh fuck, I gotta do fucking Fremulon 12 or some shit.
Every single planet in existence.
Every single planet that has life on it, he has to go there and do the whole crucifixion thing. Every time it's a different method. Every time it's a different method of execution, and he's like, "Oh, jeez."
It's not just planets; it's like the entire history. I remember there's some really funny animations of whatever religious teachings they give kids, and you see like Jesus saving a velociraptor or some other he saves. Like it's so crazy. Like it's like he saves all life and he protects it. It's like, really? Every beast and child that was ever born? That's a lot. Like that's billions. That's millions and billions of years of like microbial organisms that never evolved. So
why would you need to save a velociraptor?
I don't know. That's what it was. I was like, that's really weird. Does he travel in time? Like, what's going on?
Are you talking about that character from Chrono Trigger?
You would think
there was Raptor Jesus, like the caveman era.
Oh, what's that movie? Velocipasta or something.
What?
Where a religious guy
you mean the Best of the Worst movie?
Yeah, I remember that one, but I don't remember
not Sharknado.
No. There's literally
it's the B movie, right?
Yeah, a B movie called Velocipastor or something like that, where it's a religious man who turns into a velociraptor, but as a velociraptor he's still religious. I didn't get very far into the movie because I have better things to do with my life, like not suffer. So...
Yeah, I know. The reason why I found that funny because there's a ongoing problem with teaching kids in whatever Bible studies group that God never accounted for the dinosaurs, but Jesus controls time, so he can go anywhere and save.
No, my favorite one is what was it? Someone put up something where it was a book thing about Jesus about to hug a dinosaur or something. But someone replaced the title and went, "Shoo, you brown bastard! You're ruining my story."
All right, Jake again. Thank you, sir. Oh wait, sorry, Joe. Imagine if Lucas put out tweets that retcons the sequel trilogy completely. Oh boy, that would be embarrassing.
He doesn't have to. Lucasfilm already does it.
Not even Lucasfilm. It's just called like Star Wars Facts and the verified.
Yeah, Star Wars Facts. Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, it's a verified account from Disney that literally puts out tweets retconning the entire sequel trilogy.
God damn.
Everything that happens in the movie means nothing. Go to that Twitter feed, and that's the proper story.
All right, let's try and keep going.
It's shockingly bad. Yeah,
Jake the Surgeon again. George described balance and force was the absence of the Sith and dark side. What?
Yeah.
Absence.
Yeah, actually, the getting rid of the Sith brought balance because there was no. They were just pure evil.
That sounds very different. What was that crazy Clone Wars episode where they meet the father and the...
Yes, that was... That...
Like, that was confusing as hell. Like, who are these people? Like, they are literally the personification of the dark side and the light side. You're like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Anakin just ends up fucking it up by killing everything.
The chosen one will kill everyone. Like, what?
Really fucked up everything. Right? But that happens, right? And then it's all forgotten by Revenge of the Sith. This is what I mean. It's like, yeah, Clone Wars is really good, but every bit of character growth in the Clone Wars is thrown out the window.
It doesn't matter like what they do. And the other thing with like it has like additional characters, but like they have very little to do with the story itself. It's just like another question of like, hey, what did this character do like during the events of this? Like why? Because like I think like so much like extra content to the universe is just like gonna like make questions of like Ahsoka Tano and like those other like clone troopers. Why didn't you see them? Oh, well, okay, there's the cartoon, but like when you watch the original trilogy, you have like the mindset like, okay, Luke is the who can do this task to like face the Emperor and like become the hero. But now that you know that like there's all this other like nobodies to the story, it just like lessens the effect that like, oh well, if it didn't succeed, then like someone else could have done that because they are even stronger than Luke. It's like fuck you. like there are some like nice stories you can make out of them, but like it's really like, do you need them at this point, or just you should just like create your own story?
Yeah.
All right. Joe Crazy, did someone say Velocipaster? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is that? I'm not sure. Anyway.
It's like, do I want to put that into my Google search? Do I want that on my history?
Just search for Jesus and dinosaurs. That'll be enough comedy for...
Jesus the dinosaur.
Jesus and dinosaurs. Well, I don't know. Jesus saves dinosaurs? I don't know. One of those. You'll find some fun pictures.
And that's the newest Jurassic Park subtitle.
Jurassic World Jesus.
All right, let's try and get through this. It's taking a while.
Yeah.
Galactic ramification.
You said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
But we still see it as good and bad. We are told by the films to frame this as light must triumph over dark, and then balance can be achieved. Good must defeat evil, but it's not that simple.
Darkness rises, and light to meet it.
Okay.
Balance.
Powerful light, powerful darkness.
Now we understand that the Force corrects itself.
Young apprentice that as he grew stronger, his evil in the light would rise.
It's no longer just a tool for our protagonists and villains to tap into.
What do you know about the Force?
It's a power that Jedi have that lets them control people and make things float.
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong. The Force is not a power you have. It's not about lifting rocks. It's the energy between all things, the tension.
Life, death, and decay that feeds new life. Warmth, cold, peace.
See, this is why people like this like the sequel trilogy. It's the same fucking like vague bullshit.
It's so It's like vague, heat. It's cold. It's life. It's death. It's all. It's all this. Everything. It's everything. And you're like, really? It's everything.
I also like how all these people's ideas of the Force literally comes from the worst movie that has ever existed. I just love it. I just love the fact that everyone's idea of the Force comes from a man whose only intention was to destroy Star Wars.
Yeah, the Force causes death, which causes life. You're like, wait, it's telomerase in the cell, and then that somehow communicates to like microbes to make life. Like, no. It has nothing to do with some supernatural power. That's just normal cell death, and another organism comes by, sees a bunch of food, goes, I can replicate, boom, boom, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Well, what Dolphins is, it's just meaningless crap it's just pretty words.
Yeah.
And these brain dead manlets and bimbos go, yeah, it's really deep and meaningful, and it's like they're just saying random words.
Yeah,
it's me going cheeseburger, hamburger, salad. And like means absolutely nothing.
That would be more productive, at least.
Yeah, you know those like word collages where it's like, oh, the most common words in X or whatever.
Yeah.
The most common word, and you just make like it's like that, but like spoken. It's just right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you like words, get a fucking word search, right? Tons of them in there, right? It's fine. You can find any random crap.
Yeah, just pump all the scripts into a word cloud of all the Star Wars movies. This is what Star Wars is about.
Quite honestly, I'm sick of like these videos when it's like every single word has to be a text on the screen. Like if you do that, it loses value. And it's just like a fucking filler. Like it's white noise almost in a visual way.
All right.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to edit
this is why I play video games.
I can't hear all right. Like
I
can.
Yeah, it's like
understand
it's just
what you're
meaningless
saying, and then like the saying comes up. Yeah,
it's the same with Yoda when he gave that stupid quote of like, the path to dark side is like fear leads to anger, and anger leads to hate, and all this other nonsense. It's like, okay, yeah, that could lead to X, or it could also lead to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, like anything else. We're talking about emotions. It's like I like spaghetti. This leads to it leads to indigestion, which leads to anger.
Hunger leads to the takeaway menu. The takeaway menu leads to the phone number. The phone number leads to the actual takeaway. The takeaway leads to the driver. The driver leads to my house. It's like, yeah, okay, we can.
That would actually work as a parody video.
Yeah, but then it's like, so where's the killing the kids come involved in all this? To be honest with you,
anger leads to slaughtering 4-year-olds. What?
Yeah,
it's really like a message on overpopulation.
It's philosophical crap by people who don't understand philosophical crap.
Anger leads to searching incriminating things on the internet. Luckily, if you have NordVPN.
Oh man.
Anger leads to Rule 34, and then Rule 34 leads to regret.
NordVPN, you can protect your internet data from your internet service provider, and you can look up all the Rule 34 angry Marines.
Yeah.
Angry Marines.
Angry Marines.
Angry Marines Rule 34.
All right, here's Alex Halo. I think it's supposed to connect to the character the Mother from the now non-canon Star Wars comic that Luke had to work with Sith to defeat.
Right?
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking
about. I remember. Okay, there's a list of, if you go on YouTube and search for the most powerful Force users, I think the Mother is one of the most powerful. But I've never read the comics.
Right.
People just who know Star Wars talk about the Mother.
Oh, okay. It's literally called Mother. Okay. Because I was like thinking like what like Anakin's mother.
Yeah. So there's lots of weird Force users out there.
If you just had to kill Anakin's mother, then those Sand people are not the most powerful Force users in the galaxy.
Yeah. Okay. I think George really needs to talk to like a psychologist or a philosopher to get his ideas cleared up, because it's such a childish approach at, I don't know, Zen Buddhism, or I'm not sure what philosophy he was going for.
It is very surface.
It's just philosophical crap. You know, it's just philosophical crap that sounds philosophical.
The idea of the Jedi being a monastic order that's an aesthetic of whatever is great, but you have to get your philosophy hard, like figured out, before you start espousing crap.
But the Force worked in the original trilogy as this mystical thing that even the Jedi didn't really fully understand.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just something that it surrounds us, it penetrates us, and it binds us all together. Okay, cool. Excellent. That's all it needed to be.
Clear that it couldn't solve like every problem. It was clear that it could do some things, but it couldn't do anything. It could just do anything.
But it wasn't life, death, peace, rebirth, regrowth, rising, powerful darkness and power. It's like whoa, just slow it down. Because you're just saying words now.
Right.
And you just literally putting words.
And if you want to subvert the concept of the Force or define it better, we have stories like KOTOR and KOTOR 2, especially KOTOR 2, where you have characters that need the Force to live or use the Force to hurt themselves so they get stronger. Like there's all these wonderful characters in that story that change the way we think of the Force, not just physically, but metaphysically. So we think about, it's more than just a control power, like an invisible arm that does stuff. It is literally a philosophy, and it has its own will, and it does things, and it works certain ways. And it's certainly not the answer to everything. That was one of the things that Revan was teaching. You can't just be a Force user. You have to be good at fighting and shooting and strategy and tactics. So that was a good exposition to broaden our understanding of the world of the Jedi. So, and that was, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about Revan. And there was a big joke by Gail Simone or other people. No one knew who Revan was. It's like, shut the hell up then.
Revan's that guy.
Did she start that convo?
No, she didn't, but she jumped in on it because she's Gail Simone.
Okay. Yeah. She wants some relevance.
I think everyone did because they were. I'm a Star Wars fan and I don't know who Revan is. It's like, well, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and even I know who Revan is. It's like, okay, great.
You're not a Star Wars fan unless you have seen the special edition.
Oh god.
No, a special edition of the holiday special.
Oh boy. All right. Joe Crazy. Velocipastor is a movie where a pastor is scratched by a magical raptor claw and becomes a violent vigilante that can animorph into a velociraptor.
Was that the movie you saw? Huh?
Yeah, that was the movie I saw. Yeah.
Okay.
So does he scratch other people and they turn into velociraptors too?
No. It's just once.
Oh.
It only happens once.
I have the magical vampiric powers to turn other people into vampires, but they don't. It's like, okay. Alrighty.
It's all good.
All right, let's go. We're not even halfway done. Ugh.
Yep.
Peace. Violence.
And between it all,
water is violent, guys.
Balance that binds the universe together.
The Force is equally light and dark. Neither is more important than the other, and the first Jedi knew this. And now,
fucking
so
stupid though.
Why did he die, Adam?
The first time we meet the Jedi, our heroes in the franchise, knights of justice and keepers of all that is good and the light, they are one half in a very black and white picture. And they act as proxies for the Force.
As we learned, it's not just black and white. There's flavors of Jedi and dark users, but not in the movies, rather.
Yeah.
Which is why we were talking about KOTOR 2. There's a big, in KOTOR 1, there's this big flavor of Jedi, dark Jedi, gray Jedi, a light, what's it called? Light Sith, or what's the name? I can't remember the name. There's all these fancy names. So those are good stories because it fleshes out the world of Star Wars. And if you don't do that, you have a very surface level philosophy or power structure that doesn't make sense. Because what if a Jedi just doesn't do this anymore? Does he become a Sith, or he just becomes a recluse, or whatever?
Yeah, so I really like that when it was explored in Core 2, like those old masters who exiled the main character, like pretty much like you can like discuss it, like why did they do that? And like I think like two of them, because there was like the old man on Dantooine, like was like so stubborn that like he did the right thing, and he just can't see like what the fuck is going on. But the other two masters like admit that like there's like something wrong, and like they don't even like claim to be Jedis anymore. They just like part of this order because like, they know like they have fallen so far.
Right, you had like Jolie Bindo, which was the definitive gray Jedi, who believes in love, but he doesn't believe in murder. Like all these other nuanced characters, and then we had the description that Kreia gives about Mitra as well as Revan. Revan was like the Force, like the power of the Force. He was so strong, whereas Mitra was like the death of the Force. And that's the plot, ends up becoming the plot of KOTOR 2, and you learn about that as you go along. That's how well the story was told, because you had all these nuance, all these characters that personified those ideas. And we don't get that in episode 7 or 8 or 9. It just does, it's not there. And it could be. And all we had to do is like pull those ideas together and say, oh wow, here's a character that represents these ideas. Let's flesh it out. And if the intention was for Ryan to subvert ideas about the Force, well, having Luke on a mountaintop talk about its balance, it's like that doesn't teach us anything new. It doesn't really help us. It's just very generic about what the Force is, and that does not flesh out. You need to be specific in how things work and why Luke is living the life he's living, and that doesn't even make sense. So with Jolie Bindo, makes perfect sense. We learn about him. We knew he had a relationship. It's screwed up, and he believes in love, but not being a crazy murderer.
It would have been like so much better if like Luke was like the things that happened to Luke wasn't like told right away, but he was like sarcastic and joking about it, and like the more Rey would have talked with Luke, the more like you actually like see like what was going wrong with like Luke's life.
I mean, for him to be cynical, meaning cynicism implies that it's not my fault. It's some other person's fault, and I justify that. But it wasn't really his. Like he literally just ran away because he was scared. I don't even know. It's like that's your fault.
That's what it is.
Why are you being cynical? You're the one who's at fault here, buddy. What's the problem? Like what's like? You don't love your sister anymore. You don't love the galaxy. You don't love your friends. You don't love what you accomplished 30 years ago. If it was just like every time he tries and fails and fails and fails, and he's been failing for like a decade and another decade, he's like, I'm through with this. To hell with the galaxy. That would make sense. Yeah. But it wasn't that way.
Just some event happened like 5-6 years before the Force Awakens events.
It wasn't that long ago, yeah.
Yeah.
He had 26 years of whatever of being a Jedi Master, and it didn't work because one hut got destroyed, and he lost some real estate. I don't know.
Sacrifice all of that for green milk.
It was his favorite hut. Yeah.
And that down payment on those 3 huts for all the students just went up in flames.
I took all this loan for this fucking building. I can't pay it back. I gotta go underground.
I can't get a third mortgage for a new hut. I'm gonna have to just.
They can't find me.
I can make a hut with my mind in a matter of minutes, but real estate still costs money. I don't know how to get a job.
IRA in Star Wars is like worse than the Empire.
I'm the savior of the universe. Yeah, I'm the savior of the galaxy, but I don't know how to work at like the local Mick Republic or something like that to pay for a new hut.
All right, here's Alex K. Thank you, sir. This whole video feels like Mahler's Goodell videos. It started off that way, and then it just got serious. You're like, oh, all right, this is what he actually thinks. I wish it were, because then we could laugh with him, because that's so ridiculous. But he's actually serious.
Yeah.
And cement that this is just a simple story about good fighting evil.
Yes.
Because it is.
The prequels teach us that every action leading to the Empire's rise came about because the good guys strayed from their code of ethics, straying from the will of the Force.
No, they didn't.
No, it's because Palpatine's a master manipulator.
Well, no, he's not.
Who played both sides.
But
I'm just saying
that was the idea.
Yeah, that was the idea. See, you can't see, I've got quotation marks going up right now.
When we read like Sherlock and Moriarty, which Moriarty is a very minor character in the Sherlock canon, he is a mathematical genius. He's all these things, right? Yeah. This is like George Lucas reading Arthur Conan Doyle and saying, "Wow, what a great villain! I want to do that," but he has no idea how to write a villain like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to make him evil, and he's like the pinnacle of all bad things. It's like, okay, is he super smart, super strong? Okay, do that. He doesn't know how to do super smart or conniving or planning and strategizing. He doesn't. So what does he have to do? Make his protagonist a complete idiot and contrive all the events leading up to his whatever, his choice to be evil.
No, all you need to do is just put a hood over your head.
Have your eyes turn yellow or red or whatever color they were?
Yeah.
So that showcases he's fueled by emotion or something? I don't know. The Force makes your eye pupils turn colors. Like, why? I don't know. The midichlorians like to light up red.
Yeah. But the thing is, it wasn't the Jedi straying from the Force. It was the quotation marks manipulations of Palpatine. Quotation mark, and it's just that was the idea. It wasn't the Force balancing itself out.
Which would be funny if Anakin was completely stupid, which he is, and the Force was just manipulating him to do stuff emotionally, and that's all he was working off. You'd be like, okay, but they didn't explain that, so we don't know what the hell Anakin's doing and why. He's just a moron.
Also, by the way, we're talking about balancing the Force. Verifin, it did get balanced. It did get balanced in the Revenge of the Sith. It was 2 Jedi and 2 Sith. I know people are going to say, yeah, but other Jedi survived in the movie verse and all that. So why would it need Luke to then get Vader to kill Palpatine? Oh, my head hurts just trying to think.
Well, because he's born, he has the Force.
Yeah, but how does killing Palpatine balance?
Because then there's Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Luke, and Palpatine and Darth Vader. So there's only 2 dark side people.
Yeah. So how does Palpatine die and balance the Force?
Well, Yoda dies.
So
then it's even.
Don't do the counting. Oh no.
Carry the one.
Then Yoda
there was
dies,
like that a diagram. Like
no.
I don't know, like which.
Oh yeah,
because Obi-Wan's dead as well. At that point.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys remember we did that video of that guy.
Yes.
With the stupid literally scales on a graph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Defies all mathematics.
This is how stupid fucking Disney's way of balancing the Force became. Because once you start using this new knowledge that we've all learned, in the previous movies, nothing makes sense anymore.
All right, so let's keep going. Alex Halo, Archer didn't hate being a hero and his beliefs until after death and falling over and over. I'm not sure who Archer is.
Fate, probably. Okay,
Alex, right.
Always.
Freaking hell, man. Jeez. Luke became that out of nowhere in the movie.
I can imagine that, like, every day, like, Alex Halo sits down, like, finally I can rewatch Fate again.
The thing that always pisses me off, especially about sequel defenders, right, when it comes to Luke's character, they always say it's been 30 years, people change when it comes to Luke, right?
No. Yeah, no.
Hold on. Yeah, with Han Solo, he should be exactly the same as he was 30 years ago. That never makes sense to me. Why one character can't change his character can't change for 30 years, but another one can.
Who's that? Lando didn't change at all.
And the excuse is,
Lando didn't change.
He's older.
That's
so is Han Solo. So is Han Solo, but it's like they go, no, but Han Solo's always been like that. It's like, that's not how this works. Which is why. I
mean, Han Solo does revert, though. I mean, at the end of Return of the Jedi, he's like he is actually a hero, and he's actually a good guy, and he's actually doing stuff that isn't just out of his own self-interest. But then you come back, it's like, oh, they've divorced, and and it's like, oh, his whole life's gone to shit. It's like, oh, so he learned nothing. Like he didn't. He just goes back to being a smuggler. It's like, what?
He goes back to being Episode 5.
Yeah, they just shit over his whole character arc, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
But this is one of the things where it's like, this is how I know that. This is how I'm pretty sure that 90% of people who defend the sequel trilogy are just doing it to be contrarians, and they most likely A, haven't watched any movies, or B, they're just doing it because they think it gives them a personality. And they're people who are so devoid of anything interested in their actual lives. This gives them the reason not to take all those tablets and top themselves. So this is why half this stuff of the sequel trilogy is ridiculous, to be honest with you. They don't have argument. They have pathetic. Like this video. This video is pathetic. It's
bizarre.
It's just text. It's just text on the screen.
A big bold caps letters, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old anyone in the UK, the old CFAT teletext stuff you used to get the football scores. This is what it reminds me of. Just tons of text on the screen.
All right. Well, we're halfway done, so let's see if there's anything intelligent to pick up on this stuff.
It's this move away from being peacekeepers and into war generals that corrupts them and weakens them.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice.
What the hell?
Hear it.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic,
God.
to democracy!
The mystique and heroism of these characters of myth and lore is dismantled and reframed in front of us, eroded as time moves forward.
Now that they're extinct, the Jedi are romanticized, deified.
The conclusion reached by our first hero, Luke Skywalker, is that the Jedi were wrong.
The myth and look at their deeds. The legacy of the Jedi is failure.
Yeah, but then we learned Luke is wrong.
Legacy is pretty much that, like, they fucked up one time and like one decade.
Yeah, the 1,000 generation doesn't count. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 generations of peace.
It doesn't count.
Yeah. The 1,000 generations and then the 30 years after that fuck up don't count.
We had a really dumb Jedi that went along with the really evil guy and slaughtered half of us, or most of us, and then he killed the rest with his clone army or whatever. That's the problem. It's not their fault.
Oh, yeah, but it's like, we failed. Oh, by the way, we won in the end. God, what a failure.
Yeah, but
the Jedi won in the end.
Luke lived through this. Like he brought the Empire down, and then he couldn't save his nephew. Therefore, all the Jedi are evil. Like what? No. Or hypocrites.
The Jedi deserved to end because I couldn't stop my nephew, who let's be honest, look like a miserable twat anyway from becoming a miserable twat with a helmet.
It's just, what is he... Dude, did you watch the movie? I hate this. I hate saying this.
Yeah. I'm being honest here. I don't think 90% of the people who make these videos about the sequel trilogy have watched a single minute of the actual movie beyond YouTube clips.
Like, we're trying to say, okay, if this was what Luke actually thought, then he is brain dead or was going through some sort of weird...
father like son.
Like some fugue in his brain just sort of like turned on and he, whoa, I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm not going to be myself. And then he comes back to his senses like, how did I get here? What's happening? I guess I'm stranded on a rock. I'll stay here the rest of my life and justify it and rationalize it. You're like, okay.
I came here to die. Now excuse me while I do everything other than dying.
Yeah, weird.
I'm going to eat and drink.
Yeah, eat, drink, hunt,
that'll
sleep,
kill me quickly.
Keep warm, do all of the stuff that people alive would do.
Yeah,
Hypocrisy, hubris. And this is the lesson. That force does not belong to the Jedi. To say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can you feel that?
See, this is where I'm confused. If the Force does not belong to the Jedi, what is it then? Like, do they control it? If they control it, it's theirs.
Well,
I don't get it.
But the Force doesn't belong to the Jedi because the Sith use it as well.
Yeah, but everyone uses it who has midichlorians.
Yeah.
It's fucking established in Phantom Menace.
It's part of your body. So if it's not yours, what is it? The universe's?
It's just a skill.
It's like if I cut the wheat from my farm, that's my wheat. Yeah, I didn't grow it. It's a natural aspect of the universe or whatever biome. Yeah, it's not mine, literally.
That oxygen I breathed in, it's not mine.
It's not yours. It's the universe's.
I just used it. I just borrowed it for a couple of seconds. God, how vain am I?
I don't get it. I don't like Luke. What are you trying to say?
You can't say, but yeah, the Force is not the Jedi's. Yeah, you know that because the Sith use it.
It's like this.
So it's obviously not the Jedi.
This
other people use it.
This element of physics or nature is not mine. It's like, but you're using it like magnetism and gravity, and you're bound by it. You have to exist with it, but you can manipulate it. So it's like Magneto controls magnetism, but it's not really his. I mean, the galaxy created magnetism, and it's not really. He just happens to somehow magically control it, but it's not really his to control. He could just do it.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, if the Jedi end, that's not the end of like good guys using the Force. It's like, yeah, but if a Jedi end, and they say we're not having any Jedi, then yeah, there's no Jedi. Then it's not vanity.
I would imagine.
Like Jedi around.
I would imagine the Sith would be more vain in their manipulation of the Force because it's all about their emotions, and their emotions supercharge what they want to do. So they would be the vain people because that's the pathway. It's the quick route. Whereas the Jedi have to understand it and manipulate slowly and learn some control that way. So they're not using their emotions. So where's the vanity in being calm and collected and disciplined to learn a skill?
Where's the vanity in being nice, good people?
Yeah, not having possessions and being warrior monks and always believing in the good, compassionate answer to things.
Protecting the weak and helpless.
And
how vain
what
must you be to volunteer your time to help the weak?
Who is Luke? Who is Luke talking about here? Is what I want to know. It's not Master Yoda. It's not Qui-Gon. Maybe it's Qui-Gon. Maybe Qui-Gon. Maybe it's Qui-Gon's fault because he was so vain, believing in the whatever prophecy bullshit, which caused all this.
Yeah, but what would Luke know about Qui-Gon?
I don't know.
He was dead 30 years before Luke knew any of this stuff. So it's like me going, God, you know, the problem with America is JFK.
Well,
that's the problem with it.
At least Luke isn't blaming Gamergate for this.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, don't, because Mundane Matt made a
I
tweet
know.
yesterday about Gamergate, saying it was. If only he'd been smarter, he wouldn't have. Yeah, what a useless tool.
What?
Just get more boulders with your wife's son.
What?
And then like people ask him like, why do you think Gamergate is the cause of January 6th? And like, so like, well,
what?
Anyway, that's a different time. Well,
all right, Alex Halo wants to remind us there's an anime called Assassination Classroom. Thank you, Alex. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
That's great.
Never gonna watch it. Don't worry.
What's the live action movie that was made of that on an airplane?
What? You're serious?
There's a live action like Assassination Classroom thing, and they had it on the in-flight like movie like thing in the like back of the chair thing. And I was
wow, you're not kidding.
I didn't have any.
I'm not gonna make that joke.
I didn't have any headphones.
I'm not gonna make that joke.
So I didn't even. I just watched it with no sound and no subtitles.
Oh my god!
And I'd never seen the anime itself before, so I had no idea what was going on.
This is oh my god! All right, that's enough. I'm good. I'm done.
And to think.
Watch
it could only be
13.
Dollface to make 9/11 even worse. Oh, honestly, it's just.
All right, back to the video.
Yeah.
Like us, his original understanding of the Force and the Jedi changed.
At the height of their powers, they
bollocks.
cities to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
Despite his
so
and their
it's
best
Obi-Wan.
intentions,
Yeah,
they
but
were
you know-
responsible for terrible things. By the end
No,
of The Last Jedi...
No! Shut
Did he
the fuck up.
Did he add the sound effect there?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He has been doing that for all the ads.
That's silly.
Oh yeah, when ghosts can interact with the physical world.
Yeah. Okay.
Ghost Han Solo could have done like all the entire movie, really. Like, just like pop in next to Snoke and like snap his neck or something.
Light his stupid room on fire. He's like, ah! Just keep shocking him. Like, why? I can't sleep. Ah! He keeps getting shocked.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining in the middle of the throne room scene before Snoke dies. Just Han Solo pops in the background and goes, now I have to remember what I'm here for. Oh yeah, just snaps his neck. It's like, see you around, kid. Just why?
Yeah, well.
Mark, I hate you so much. That rant that Luke went on was just so wrong. It's like the Jedi allowed Darth Sidious to take over. No, they didn't. Mace Windu went with 3 other Jedi to stop him. Mace Windu had beaten Palpatine until Anakin Skywalker came along. Also, it was the failure of a Jedi to make Darth Vader. All right, you're now shitting on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well done, Luke. That guy who fucking started training you and then came back as a ghost to help you with more training.
And then he sees
what a knobhead! What a knobhead, wasn't he, Luke?
He sees a vision of Han, and he's like soaking wet, and he just says like, and he starts speaking backwards, and if you play it forwards, it's it says 4,
John is dead.
15, 16, 23, 42, and then it turns out that Star Wars is in the Lost universe. And that's where the numbers come from, because it's in a galaxy long time ago, far, far away. And that's where the numbers come from. The numbers reverberate through the universe, and that's how it gets to Lost.
Yeah, and then all that happened is you get... What do the numbers mean, Mason?
What do the numbers mean?
It turns out that both Lost and Star Wars are actually in Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's all in the shared universe.
But that outburst that Luke just said was literally just shit on all the good Jedi who didn't make mistakes and actually worked to solve the problem. It's like, wow. It's like, how can people? This is how I know that Rian Johnson literally made TLJ to destroy Star Wars, and that was the only reason he made the damn thing. I don't care if he talks about subvert and shit. He made it he hated Star Wars and he wanted to destroy it, and he worked. So, anyhow.
All right, keep going.
Plays out the central thesis of the film.
The greatest teacher.
Oh, fuck off.
That the only way forward for Luke and the galaxy is to learn from failure. We understand the Force differently now. We understand the Jedi.
They blew up 2 Death Stars.
We understand their place in all of this, and so does Luke. But Luke has a clear path to follow. But how do we reconcile all that we have learned? How do we move forward, knowing everything that we now do? What does Star Wars change for us that will allow us to come to terms with that legacy?
Change 2008 Obama.
What the?
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what this guy's driveling on about.
This editing it's like the editing equivalent of how Captain Kirk like talks. You know?
Is this like some religious epiphany to him? Like you have to have this change in your life when you watch Star Wars. What do you do?
That change in your heart.
It's like you got to change, guys. Just don't use Tinder because you're just gonna fail again.
You're gonna get
Failure is the greatest cheat teacher.
Get all the Tinder, get all the Tinder apps and use them all at the same time.
Also, where was Yoda to give advice? To give this advice like earlier? Why is he always come up then to give that advice?
Well, you see, it wasn't necessary.
Master Yoda, it's been 30 years.
Yeah,
I still believe like Red Letter. Still believe like Red Letter Media is like Inception. That like they just like he just like comes every day to Luke. Like
it's canon in Disney canon. Yoda as a ghost just watched as Kylo like slaughtered all the other like Jedi students. He just sat there.
And he's just laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted."
You will.
Killing of children, I enjoy. Brings back fond memories of security footage.
Brings fond feelings to my heart.
I could have easily electrocuted Kyle's brain at any time, but no. I need to teach Luke a lesson in 4 years' time or something.
I just thought the fact that he's going from Kylo to just Kyle.
Kyle.
He does sound like the most emo. Cool.
Kyle's destroyed his world again.
Kyle.
Kyle's having a tantrum again. In his room.
It's like that movie. What was it? The movie We Need to Talk About Kevin. It's like we need to talk about Kyle.
Like, damn it, Kyle! If you destroy that helmet one more time, we're not getting you another one. Okay, we're not getting you another helmet, Kyle. You're gonna put it back together. We're not.
I hate you, Mom. I hate you, Mom.
I hate you. And then
Uncle Luke's a tool. He doesn't make me. He took my My Chemical Romance CD away from me.
The Knights of Ren come in and they're like, "Hello, Miss Patterson."
Yeah. But with the Knights of Ren for the last time, lads. Your band's not gonna work. You need to get real jobs.
Kyle, your friends, the Knights of whatnot, whatever. Yes, they're here. Do you want some?
I don't care about them.
You
have to go away.
The Knits of Rona here. So,
it's just like Snoke coming down, and he's like dressed as like a full like granny, and he's just coming down to the basement. Like, do you want any tea and biscuits for your friends? Yeah.
Snoke was like a warm grandma.
Yeah.
Like
making milk and cookies. God, Snoke, you like totally crippled.
God, you're embarrassing me. Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll just be up here if you need me. You boys have fun now.
I love the fact that me and Dolphins have managed to turn Kylo Ren into Kevin and fucking Perry.
Oh, thanks.
God, I hate you, Mum.
Thanks, Mrs. Snoke.
Thanks, Mrs. Thanks, Mrs. Solo. It's like Kylo and Grogu instead of Kevin and Perry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just leaves.
He couldn't take anymore.
He just fucking left. He just yeeted. He's back.
Welcome back.
I knew you'd be back.
And he's back. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, sorry.
Failures of the past.
Got kicked out again.
Mistakes,
which
and
does
to
not like
accept
me
that
today.
history doesn't need to hold us back.
Why was that scene?
Cool.
What?
I don't like
I don't know. No, why?
It's coarse and
Oh my god.
No.
rough and irritating.
Please no.
For the Skywalkers, the desert
No,
is
stop.
a place of sorrow. The sand is the home
What?
of Anakin's slavery. It's barren, desolate.
And it gets
And it's his home and his mom and his job and all the things he loved. Like, yeah, it's many things. What's your point? It's where he won the pod race and got his freedom. And met the Jedis and changed his life forever.
What does it mean? What does sand mean?
I don't know. I've just come back to the watch to this. I don't know what's actually happening. I just don't understand. I'm like, what? I don't know.
Talking about the meaning of sand.
What's this got to do with Star Wars?
How does the rise of Skywalker have to do with his comment on sand? I don't know.
See, it redefines the meaning.
How does a guy who has no connection to the Rise of Skywalker
I don't know.
saying I don't like sand? That's like saying, God, Mahatma Gandhi once said this thing. Anyway, I'm going to connect it to fucking The Witcher 3. It's like, wait, what? No, this means nothing at all.
Oh boy. All right, let's keep going.
They're everywhere.
And forever linked with the death of his mother.
Okay.
Okay. Sad music.
Oh, house.
Yeah, okay.
The sand is where the Jedi abandoned her.
What? No.
This is
In
good.
the sand is where the
represents his
Jedi
own kind.
abandoned him.
No, abandoned her. He said.
You mean abandoned her?
Because they only took him.
But you only
That's
won
what they
him.
do.
Okay, that's
I know.
but they couldn't. Qui-Gon wanted to take both of them, but he couldn't.
The Jedi take the kids early, and even then, he's
but
too
also-
old.
Yeah, but also Qui-Gon actually tries to get his mum, and Qui-Gon's quite upset about not being able to get both of them.
Yeah, he couldn't get the mum from evil slaver Gonzo.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, so no, they didn't abandon it. It's like, I can't do any more. I could like literally wipe out the entire population of Mos Eisley, but I wouldn't be much of a Jedi if I did that for one person.
Servitude, but to his family. In a similar way to his father, the desert is where his parental figures met.
Servitude to his family,
For Rey,
yeah, it's
her
called
parents
farming.
are already gone, and like Anakin, the desert is a place of abandonment. It makes her a slave to the memories of her family.
How does this have anything to do with Rey?
How does this have anything to do with the rise of Skywalker?
Can I just...
There's sand.
That thing about Luke,
Sand.
it was like he's in servitude to his family. It's like, no, he lives on a farm. They have to farm things. It's called a job.
Imagine the setting of Star Wars was in one city. The argument would be exactly the same. This one city is where all this took place. It was sad and tragic. And then there's a new character who also has sad and tragedy in her life. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, Smud, let's stop talking about Kirkwall for 5 seconds, please.
Okay.
Well, that's one place that everyone's sad in.
This is getting weird. Like, dude, what are you getting at here?
Sand, yeah, where it's sand. It's like, okay. I like sand. It's next to a beach.
I live on a planet where there's sand, just like Luke. Therefore, they both feel a sense of loss and like what? Okay.
No, it's like Ray lives on a planet made of sand, just like Luke, because J.J. Abrams is a hack who could only remake A New Hope.
Yeah.
That is literally it.
That's it.
That's the only reason.
Everyone knows that. You don't even have to know JJ or what his technique was. You just have to watch episode 4 and watch episode 7. You're like, oh, this is the same movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just
sand. Insult to the human race. Thank you. Now trying to theme sand. What is this video? I don't think he's theming it. I just think he's talking and using sand as a vehicle to explain these character life. I don't understand.
Imagine getting to the point where to connect the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy together is you've thought of everything, nothing works. You go, there's sand in all 3 trilogies. That's what links it. That's the fluidity between the Star Wars story.
He could have used the argument from the director writer saying, well, I'm going to do what episode 4 did, and that's why I want the themes to be similar. Thus they're similar on a meta level. And you're like, yeah, that's true. But he went directly to the content and said, there's sand. And sand has a tragic past with all these characters. And you're like, sand? The ground you're standing on where stuff happens? Like, what if it was a forest? Or the tundra? Or any other scenario? Like, what?
Yeah, such a weird...
Because setting, therefore characterization. You're like, what?
Well, but then again, that's like these bad things happen to Luke and Stan. Yeah, something bad also happened to him in Snow. If you actually watch episode 5, and his dad's buried in a forest. So, do those different settings not bring back bad memories?
Yeah, take Star Trek. Everything happens on the ship. Oh, everyone experiences happiness and tragedy, and they're all connected through the ship. Yeah. And you're like, but he's not saying the ship. He's saying the bulkheads or the carpets. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, the carpets of the bridge bring sadness because I don't know.
I don't know. This is so silly.
You all know the truth. Whomever you're waiting for on Jakku, they're never coming back.
Through the
doesn't matter because like the other 2 movies is just still about like Rey trying to like, oh, where are my parents? Like I can never find them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
This is like completely meaningless scenes
it's
because of that.
All she's got going for her is who are my parents? Where are they? What did they do? Why did they abandon me? Yeah. And every movie is different.
Who are my parents? Oh, who are my parents? Oh, I found who my parents are. Yeah, they don't suit what I want, so I'm a Skywalker now.
Yeah, like, it's kind of weird.
Cool, that's great. Just forgetting the sacrifice your parents
well,
did
to be fair,
cool, wonderful.
To be fair, a Skywalker did slap her on the wrist with a leaf. So I mean, that's basically family.
That's
basically like, yep, he's my dad.
Really, like Rey becoming a Skywalker is like a allegory for like U.S. immigration.
Wow.
Everyone can be a Skywalker.
Oh.
If you just believe.
You get trapped in a detention camp for a good part of your life, and then You become a
The sand represents Mexico.
Oh, God.
I don't care anymore.
This is so dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got to the point in my life where I'm now hearing someone talk about sand in 3 different trilogies, and is trying to make a point.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this off. Hopefully.
Sequel trilogy, we follow
knew I should
Rey
listen to my
as
mother
she
who'd been
too
a monk.
learns what we have learned about the past.
The Jedi were real. Magical power holding together good and evil, the dark side and the light. Crazy thing is, it's true.
Yeah.
The Force.
I can hear him.
All of it.
You don't have to
go through the dismantling of those.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I.
This is so
Yeah,
annoying.
we. Yeah, but also, is there no such thing as news in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, we don't have like digital records of all this stuff
This
happening.
is like not knowing about like I don't know, like Vietnam or something.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I figured it out. I actually added up. It's like not knowing who the Beatles are, as in like, but living in the 60s and not knowing who the Beatles. Living in London in the 60s and not knowing who the Beatles are 40 years later.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Bear in mind that supposedly, a year after Luke was on a random salt planet, everybody in the galaxy knows about his actions.
Right, yeah, like instantly. Like,
Instantly knows about all his actions.
Broom Boy. Fucking Broom
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Fucking Broom Boy.
Yeah, knows about it, but that's so everyone knows about that, but everyone's forgotten about the Old Republic, the Jedi, the Clone Wars, the Empire, and now even like Luke winning the war and everything. Everyone's forgot about those 5 things, but Luke on a salt planet, everybody fucking remembers.
But he didn't really do that much. He just sort of like appeared, had a little skirmish.
But nobody apart from the First Order who was there and 12 rebels know what happened. Yet somehow the entire galaxy, within a fucking day, knew all about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Rey is the vessel through which we can finally process all that has happened over all of this time.
No.
It was the fucking porgs.
No, what do you mean the vessel? What happened over all this time? We knew what happened beforehand.
Act of change, one last shift in the template of Star Wars.
What?
And we do it by going back to where it all began.
What? What? Are you joking?
Skywalker commences and the Skywalker saga concludes.
Can't be fucking serious.
Rey
man.
returning to Tatooine, putting the Skywalker lightsabers to
No,
rest here.
Pause. No, the film trilogy, the whole saga started on a spaceship.
Yes, they should just go back to the...
Yes, the big ship, and there's the small ship, and it destroys the...
Yeah, that's literally how it starts. It doesn't start at the sun.
In The Rise of Skywalker. God damn it.
No.
Yeah, that's the first thing you see is that iconic like shot.
Yes.
The big ship.
I can't believe...
Talk about sand. We're literally going to spend the last bit of this movie talking about fucking sand.
What? How did he get to this?
What does Leia have to do with sand?
So, The Rise of Skywalker, 1 year on, conclusion, the sand.
So what Leia has to do with sand is that she's coarse and rough and irritating, and she gets
everywhere.
Oh God, where are we going with this?
Imagine writing something Star Wars defined, and it's just the sand. Wow, the sand.
It doesn't even have like any like meaning as like a home for like neither like Luke or Anakin, but because both of them fucking hated living there. Like Luke wanted to just like fuck off and like go to the academy to be a pilot or whatever, Anakin was a slave, so not much.
It's like, yeah.
Enjoyment.
Thank you for burying my lightsaber on the ashes of my dead uncle and aunt. Cheers, thanks for that, Ray.
Finally, I can be there.
All
right, I gotta find out what the hell this is weird.
Yeah, this is really weird though.
Not just an end to the saga, the story we grew up with, but also finding peace with the story itself. When we meet
this is a mental delusion as well.
Finding peace with the story itself. This implies something in the story made you angry, and you have to justify its existence to find peace.
That's called episode 8.
What is he talking about?
It's crazy how the Star Wars story was fully complete.
What is the opposite of what has happened? Like what do you mean finding peace with the story? Is it a jumbled mess? It's chaotic, and you have to bring it from its warlike state and then bring it to like some mental understanding of congruity with reality. I don't know what you're talking about here, sir.
It's like, but here's the thing: we understood the story of Star Wars. And then the prequel trilogy happened, and we could still understand the story of Star Wars. And then the sequel trilogy happened to the point where we went, well, you've ruined the story of Star Wars. This makes no sense now. Everything means absolutely nothing.
Okay, this is...
But why did I need an incredibly powerful Mary Sue doing ridiculous things which don't make sense in 3 movies that don't even fit together in their own fucking...
Like, the sequel trilogy is like... It's like a... You know, you're walking along, and then a guy comes up to you, and he's like, I'm a doctor, and you're very sick. It's like, oh, really? I don't feel sick. No, trust me. I'm very sick, and no other doctor can diagnose this illness. Only me, and I'm telling you you're sick, and the only thing that can cure it is this thing that I just happen to be the only person who has the cure to this illness that you have, and the only way is that you have to give me $1 billion. It's like, no, you have to subscribe to my Patreon. That's the only way.
1.2
billion. Yeah, but it's basically like they're creating this problem. They're the one telling you that there's this problem out of nowhere, and then also telling you that they have the solution. Like Ray's kind of like that. Like Ray's like this like pill to a thing that you like. I didn't know that we needed this. No. We need Ray. You don't understand. We need Ray to fix this problem that exists. It's like this problem didn't exist until you told me it existed. But it's like no. Trust me. We need Ray to fix this problem. And it's like, yeah,
right. It's like, yeah, and it's just people were fine with Star Wars even after the prequels, and then now no one's fine with Star Wars.
I think the prequels expanded the world, even if some of it was kind of dumb. Like it expanded the universe, whereas in the sequels, it's like, we're going to just destroy. We're going to destroy basically the entire Republic, essentially. 5 planets. We're just gonna that's it. Right, that's it. That whole big thing you saw in the prequels, where it's like there's so many planets, right? That doesn't exist. There's none of that, and it's like we can easily destroy it like in one go, and it's like, where the fuck is the universe? It feels like there's like 5 planets, and that's it. Like it feels like that. Whereas in the prequels, it was like, holy shit, there's so much. Like holy shit, there's so much that like you feel like there's stuff you're not seeing, right? And you can go into the extra stuff, right? And you go into the books and the comics and the games, or whatever. But you don't have to get the impression that there's a lot there, you know. Whereas if all you saw was the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, in the sequel trilogy you're like, well, there's nothing left. There's nothing here other than what we're shown. There's nothing beyond that. You know?
There's nothing beyond Jakku, Canto Bight, and Crate.
Yeah.
Oh, and Exegol. So those are the only 4 planets that exist now.
That's it, yeah.
And it's like, no, there's millions
so there's no... Whereas the prequel trilogy, like, at least it sort of gives you. It's sort of like how Warhammer works, where they give you these gaps and stuff, and they give you these like, oh, you could put some stuff here, and if you wanted to invent a chapter, you could put a Space Marine chapter here, and you could, there's all this room for speculation and for imagination, like as a child, there's all this sort of room where you could go, oh well, I could I could make up a Jedi, and I could make up all these adventures that could go on, but I don't feel like you could do that in the world of the sequel trilogy. Like, there's just no room for speculation.
No.
Okay.
Let's carry on about the sound.
Luke, staying on Tatooine is akin to being shackled. Looking out to the sunset, Luke's dreams seem forever away and unreachable. But for Rey, she's no longer bound by legacy. The twin suns bloom large in the final shot of Episode 9. It signals a new
because they
dawn,
copied the shot.
New journey for Rey, who has recently become her own demons of the past. For all intents and purposes.
What demons of her past?
Her own demons of her past?
She doesn't remember her parents.
What is this guy even on about here?
What?
What was her great tragedy? What horrible thing happened to her aside from losing her parents?
Well, she already knew she had done. Whatever, I don't care. I really don't fucking care. This guy's a fucking tool.
The death is the legacy of Star Wars, and
What?
making peace
The-
with it
the
replaces so
desert.
much sorrow and so much pain. That final change, that one last fluid piece of meaning, flipping the desert paradigm on its head, brings
The what?
How the fuck?
What the hell is
How the fuck can you?
You what?
a setting?
You what? Eh?
A setting is a paradigm now?
Fucking
No.
The grass paradigm, the tree paradigm, the tundra paradigm. Like what are you talking about?
The desert has nothing to do with fucking Star Wars. Why? There is some desert planets because it's cheaper to film in Tunisia than it is to film in like nicer places.
I don't. Is he trying to use the motif of using deserts throughout the films as a paradigm? As he's describing it as a paradigm?
Yeah, I think so. This is stupid. This is really
don't
stupid.
even know.
He's brought Star Wars down to the desert.
I guess. I don't know what it represents, though. Like, he's saying these characters went through hardships on desert settings. You're like, yes. And
They also went through hardships on other planets.
yeah, on ships
And in space.
space and Death Stars and all sorts of other locales. What is your point? Episode 6 is on a forest planet.
Yeah, what do you think was more hardship for Luke? Tatooine in Episode 4, or getting his hand cut off and then find out that the big bad was his dad on Cloud City? Which one do you think's more traumatic to him? It's,
Or how about whatever
it
that...
wasn't his parents, it was his uncle, right? Or it was his...
Yeah.
Or losing his whole school. It was just a giant conflagration. It was just big. Everything was on fire. Wouldn't fire be more traumatic than sand?
Yeah, What a fucking
this is a
basic
reach.
bitch thing.
This is so weird.
Rey's dreams, her future, and our future within reach.
She has no dream. She is a blank. She has nothing.
She has no. Yes.
What's her future? She's absolutely. She is so blank slate of a blank slate that I literally believe she's just going to wander in the desert and die of starvation.
She has no...
Like, there's nothing there.
She has no dreams. She has no personality. She has no aspirations. She has no goals.
I mean, the whole thing of like, oh, well, she's staying on Jakku because what if her parents come back? But we never get the sense that she'd be doing anything else. like if she wasn't waiting for her parents, we don't really get the sense that there's something else that she'd rather be doing. You know,
like
we don't
starting
get,
a business or whatever. Like, no, there's nothing.
There's no like, I'd really like to do this, but I'm staying from my parents. Like, you don't really get that sense.
She's a junker and she does nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
With Anakin,
also, she wants to run back to Jakku as well in The Force Awakens.
With Anakin, at least we get his interest in technology, and he wants to be in a pod race, and then he wants to be a Jedi. Like he wants
to leave Tatooine. Like, he wants to leave, and he wants to experience the galaxy or whatever. And with Luke, it's sort of a similar thing. Like even before the his family gets killed, right? Even before then, he basically wants to leave.
Academy.
And I think he wants to join the Empire. I think, but he wants to leave. Basically, he wants to experience sort of a.
Well, he wants to go to the Academy, which is the Empire Academy, get the skills, and then sneak off to the Rebellion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but he still wants to get away, right? He still wants to just like he wants to see things, right? And Rey, there's just nothing. There's just like. She seems pretty much happy enough. Like, I mean, she has her little tally thing, but it's like she seems pretty like. There's nothing where it's like, oh, well, I would be doing this, or oh, I really wish I could do X, Y, Z, but I have to stay here. Yeah, I don't really get that impression. Maybe I missed something, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like that.
No, you didn't miss anything because there's nothing to Rey as a character. She is such a nothing of a character, but they had to make everyone else such a nothing to give her something. That's why everyone turned into.
I feel like she should be more bitter about it. Like, she feels like she should be more like at this point. Like, I feel like if you're gonna have this story, like, start it at the point where she's losing her patience. Like, at the point where it's sort of like, you know what, fuck it. You know, fuck it. I like. Why am I waiting here for these people that they're not coming? And then
I've been here for 14 years, but she's just chilling.
It just seems like she should be more angry about it, or more like she never once goes like, "Oh, I hate them," you know. "Oh, I can't believe they did this to me," right? Anything like that.
I wasted all those years waiting.
Right? Yeah, but the whole time she's so hopeful. There's never one part where she's like, I resent them for abandoning me. Like, she never actually says anything like that. And it's so, like, hollow. It's so, like, really? You don't have any opinions about this?
Yeah, the minute she finds anything about him, she completely drops him and forgets about him.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just says, I'm a Skywalker. And it's like, so...
It's like, wait, what?
It's like, your parents meant nothing then. You just found out your parents literally sacrificed a nice family life because they knew that people were coming.
Right, yeah.
And they literally died making sure you're okay, and you're just like, yeah, well, oh well, yeah, I'm a Skywalker.
But it doesn't even make sense. Like, why would she not be like... I think Solo would make more sense. I feel like Solo... What they could have done would be have Han Solo tell her the thing... That we learn in the movie Solo, right? The whole thing about his name, right? He could have told her that, and then like the story of why it's Solo, and then at the end of the trilogy, she could identify as a Solo, and then that would make way more sense, you know?
Yeah.
That because he had more screen time with Han Solo, and because the Solo like name and the origin of it makes sense for her as well. And then you'd have your nice little sort of, I see, it all makes sense, right? Whereas Skywalker just comes out of nowhere, makes no sense, connects to nothing. Like, it's just like, yeah.
It's literally just so they can say that it's part of the Skywalker saga.
It's just so they could have the movie be called Rise of Skywalker, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
If there was no Skywalker.
Oh, yeah, because it makes sense otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah.
All right, well, 2 minutes left. I don't know if this is going to be crazy or hollow or just go to Skillshare. I'm not sure, so.
Please don't Skillshare. Just please be an advert. Please be an advert.
Yeah.
From
NordVPN, come on.
Began, we and Star Wars can finally move forward.
What?
No, we can't move forward. You've destroyed the entire series. The series, the series can't move forward.
That's it.
Yes.
That took longer than I thought it would. Probably about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't care. The series is dead in the water. They can't move forward. Just gonna say.
2019, like he had like copyright. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright. That was a video.
Is that projection or just insanity? I'm not sure which one.
There's
like
this is schizophrenic like pattern. This is like you seeing the patterns and shit. You know, this is like looking at clouds and like seeing patterns and stuff. This is like that level of just like
right. I was thinking more or less, how Maggie Mae Fish will take an idea and connect it to other ideas that have nothing to do with each other.
Yes.
Like it's that level of retardation. It's not as crazy as her, but it's still like, dude, you're reading way too much into sand. That is stupid. I've never heard people talk about the past of sand and the tragedy of people with sand or around sand and the stuff that happened to them.
Have I ever told you the tragedy of Darth Sand the Wise? Yes.
He was irritated.
He did not even do the whole thing where she buries the lightsabers in sand or bullshit like that. So he's obviously had his own ideas. But it's like, what are you talking about?
I
started making a list because I usually leave comments on this video, but all I have is two things. How is Star Wars about fluidity? You didn't make any sense. The second sentence
he did make that point.
The thematic pillars of the universe have their own arcs. And then he just went off, and I could not follow.
No, I was I really am completely lost with what the actual video was getting to or about, or because he's saying like, now we have Rey, we can move forward with the series. It's like you do realize everything about Rey is just stopped and no one's interested about Rey, and literally the Star Wars series is now stuck in a constant. We've got to keep it in the OT or the prequels. There is nothing in the sequel trilogy era.
Yeah, like when I watched Revenge of the Sith in the cinema, I was satisfied. I was like, okay, that's enough Star Wars. I'm done. Like I don't need to see any more. You know.
I hate the sequel trilogy so much. I really, really, really do.
It's been entertaining to watch people's reactions and to see how they react to it because it's so. I don't know if it's supposed to be interpretive or these people are just so dumb, and they're fanboying so hard that they're trying desperately to make connections with themes and symbols and objects and God knows what else. You're like, dude, this is not that great. I mean, it's fine as a piece of stupid entertainment, but The Rise of Skywalker, which he barely even mentioned or showed.
Yeah,
was so bad.
I thought he was going to actually talk about like The Rise of Skywalker at all. Like they just talk like.
Yeah, this is like 2-ounce whiskey.
Like I thought this was going to be like, oh well, 1 year later, are the initial thoughts about Rise of Skywalker, are they the same?
Yeah.
Is it the same as we saw initially? But there was he barely even mentioned it. I'm like, what the fuck?
I still don't get what fluidity means. I still don't understand what the pillars, of how many pillars there are of.
The thematic pillars of the universe have character arcs. Anyway, sand.
It's insane. I think Wisp just checked out a long, long time ago as he couldn't take this shit.
I can fully understand.
Oh yeah, Wisp. Yeah, where's Wisp? Yeah.
No, don't bother.
Wisp fucking died.
Migraine from the shit.
Yeah, we're done, Wisp. It's
This is what I've
okay.
been talking about with all these other people. They look for patterns to justify whatever they believe in. You're right, this is like what Maggie May Fish is doing. This is what all these SJWs are doing when they justify their weird ideology bullshit. This is what all these fetishists do when they look for the gay in everything.
Oh, God.
It's just so... Look how intelligent and pretentious I am. Let me add some weird music to it. And then some fonts. Here, have some fonts.
I can write.
Anyway, that was the weird... I don't know how disconnected that was, but I was not following that very well. I have no idea how The Rise of Skywalker defines Star Wars.
There is nothing to follow.
Yeah.
There never is anything to follow with these videos, with what these people are saying. It is always just jumbled, garbled nonsense that looks nice. And it's supposed to make them look intelligent.
Yeah. Well, I got to get a drink. I got to exercise. I got to remind myself I have a beating heart and a brain. And I'm going to use it tonight. So I recommend everyone do that. Go to bed if it's too late for you. Read a book that has some through line where there's logical sequence of events that you can follow. Whatever gets your brain going, please do it right now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That was, we might have been better off with that screeching harpy. Talking about shonen manga kids or whatever.
No.
At least it would have made some sense. At least that we could follow what the hell she was talking about.
It would have made some... No.
Crazy ladies have a reason to be crazy. They're not just loud for no reason. Unless you're Maggie May Fish.
They're not just loud for no reason. You know what? One day, Smud, I'm gonna take you around my town, and you'll just be like, "Wow, there's a lot of loud women for no reason."
Music, drunkenness. There's all sorts of other reasons, but you don't get excited because you get adrenaline going through your blood. There has to be a reason for that. Anyway,
she was just weird. I don't know. But again, sand. Fuck it.
Sand, guys. It's all about the sand. Jesus. Holy crap!
This is honestly like me making a video about, I don't know, we'll just say The Mandalorian, and then saying, and anyway, pregnancy pillows is what connects the OT. It's like sand. What the fuck?
The Mandalorian is all about trees. Rocks and trees. A lot of dangerous things.
The sequel trilogy
I really got to the point about
Star Wars by having a female protagonist hold the obvious phallic symbolism of a lightsaber.
Oh, that's a Maggie May Fish.
Rey is trans because she has a lightsaber. Lightsaber is obviously phallic symbolism. And then Rey having a lightsaber represents her having a dick.
Oh boy.
Transgender is no, too.
It makes too much sense.
Oh. Anyway,
where are we right now?
We're done.
Happened?
We're done. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Have a great night. Go pet a dog, exercise, get smashed. I don't care.
Watch Go 13.
What? Well, that's the answer to everything. Yeah. But I mean, we can't always
do something. Just hang yourself. Do something productive. Just.
Where are my sleep meds?
All right, guys. Take it easy. Good night. Bye-bye.